Anti-derivative Jill.
There she is. There she is.
Welcome to Jill's.
Can I offer you some tea?
Good tea. Nice house.
Would you make me some of that Plomeek soup? Greetings and felicitations.
Protest. I'm not a married man. And that got a chuckle from Scotty.
Greetings.
On Stardate 493997, Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Federation Starship Enterprise was kidnapped for 6 days. Oh, wait, I was going to read that.
Who's going to read it? Am I going to read it?
You read it.
On Stardate 43997, Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Federation Starship Enterprise was kidnapped for 6 days by an invading force known as the Borg. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna.
Okay, keep going.
Surgically altered, he was forced to lead an assault force on Starfleet at Wolf 359.
Hello and welcome.
Bum bum.
This is Plomeek Teatime number 92, and if you haven't guessed already, we're going to discuss the Star Trek, the Next Generation episode, The Best of Both Worlds. It isn't Star Trek's very first two-parter, but it is pretty much, I guess it would be the first cliffhanger, possibly. And the end of season 3, beginning of season 4, a turning point for Star Trek, both in the real world and fictionally, and I almost feel nobody is worthy of talking about it because it's so amazing and I love it. So I'm a little nervous, but it really ranks up there. It's one of my favorites.
Hey, Scotty, on 3, do you want to do a "We're Not Worthy"?
Yeah, okay. I'll count it down.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Okay.
No, it's so good. It's so good because it gives me kind of without. See, the problem with TNG was it was trying to be TOS for a while, and then this is where the turning point where a lot of people say it found itself somewhere during season 3. And this is the pinnacle of that, but also it kind of still does kind of remind me of TOS if you look at Return of the Archons. We do kill a computer with logic, and I love that too. It even asks the question so many people have to grapple with their careers, so it's something personal, even beyond the fun science fiction space adventure. Are you happy with where you are in life? Why don't you want to achieve more? And do you even need to? And also Star Trek often does have some kind of threat to drive the episode, but the Borg achieve more than that with their terror because they're more powerful, more advanced, and certainly seems like Starfleet isn't anywhere near being ready to face them.
And it's time to punch up your career with some Will Riker seasoning.
Yeah, actually, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what some of the people who made this episode or were involved in some way have to say about it. But before I do that, I want to say hello to my panelists. And thank you to Terry for fixing Scotty or 37's Riker avatar. Welcome. Scotty,
yes.
37. How are you?
Absolutely. Big shout out to Terrier. He is my AI deep faker. I tried to do it myself, and it looked it actually looked like Dr. Smith from the movie of Lost in Space, and so it was terrible. But thank you, Terrier, so much. He can't be with us. I invited him, but he can't be with us. So, but yeah, I'm glad that everyone else is here.
Too bad.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he could have been here. And Max Redstone. Oh no, it looks like Max has already been assimilated. 14 of 19.
No, yes, well, I had to give myself if I was going to give myself a designation, if I was going to be designated, I was going to give myself a designation. So it is a self-designation. It was not given by the Hive. I am unaffiliated with the Hive. I am unaffiliated with Hive.
Oh, that's
He's a Borg.
Hopefully you're doing well today, and I'm glad you decided to join us.
I am unaffiliated with the Hive. I am unaffiliated with the Hive, and that Duck of Death was created. My Duck of Death avatar was created by me, not AI.
Oh, nice, good. Oh, you're better than us.
Well, I do have an art degree. I didn't say yes.
Give me just a second.
Oh,
I didn't say yes. I'm better than you. I just said I have an art degree.
no, I agree. It's fine if you didn't need to employ the AI. I'm acquiescing, sir. Please.
Ha 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 ha! He acquiesced. No, I'm just.
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to say hello to the chat.
We didn't say hello to Wes Cagle.
We didn't say hello.
I didn't say hello to Wes Cagle. Oh, I'm so sorry. I got distracted by a messenger post. Hello, Wes Cagle. Thank you also for joining us.
All good. Today. It's all good. Yeah. Glad to be here. Glad to be anywhere, actually.
Oh, YouTube. And YouTube is not your favorite thing, it looks like, today.
Oh, I wasn't able to change that. That was from before. It didn't let me change when I came in here. I should get rid of that before I get your stream in trouble.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, okay.
If you've got a problem, I guess, we could talk about it. But how are you doing today otherwise?
Doing good. Glad to be here on the stream. This is a great episode. A lot of nuances. A lot of. Well, it's just I don't know. There's so much complexity and dynamism in this episode. I wouldn't even know where to start. So.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's what I was saying. There's just so much awesomeness in it, and I just don't want to do it wrong, But I do also want to say hello to Franco Walker. He's here. Hello, Franco. And Greek Letters Larson says, if I can't watch it due to lack of internet, just fire a photon torpedo with my name engraved on.
Photon torpedo away.
I'll always remember that as Bird of Prey 5's least favorite scene in Star Trek the motion picture. He really hates that scene, and I forget why exactly. Oh, he is a Borg.
No.
Boag.
He is.
He's a Boag.
Boag
is a Borg.
It still sounds like a two. It still sounds like a 2-year-old who can't pronounce his R's.
It's a bog.
It's a Boag.
Bog.
My beard hurts.
Bog.
That was really the only clip you wanted, except for the scrolling text, which I did a poor job on.
No, it was fine. It was really smooth.
Bog is a bog.
But you got the destruction of the Saratoga, right?
Oh yes.
Okay, we'll save it we'll save it.
I got the destruction. Yeah, I know, because neither episodes actually show the Battle of Wolf 359. That was what we had to see at the beginning of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Emissary.
Just as an incidental, there was a third-party episode that actually did do a Battle of Wolf 359. I don't know if you saw those.
No, but I'd like to.
Yeah, I'll find it. I'll put a link in the private chat.
Explain.
Don't put it in the private chat.
No, they. Yeah,
if
okay.
There's a YouTube favorite. Oh, sorry.
I'll find it.
I hate to be Captain Riker on this one, but if you find the Battle of Wolf 359, I would recommend putting it in the public chat.
There was someone who did a private a third party a third-party
Oh, that's
battle.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
so I guess they just figured out all the casualties of the war and then just brought the ships in. And that's really cool. Well, and
it was
they
by,
and
it was
and
by
so
a user called JTVFX.
oh, and so I wonder if when they were making Emissary, they looked at the fan film first.
Emissary
I want
came
to say
out
hello to.
Well, this was a year
before.
ago, so
Yeah.
Oh, it was a
Mega
year ago.
Cropper.
I thought okay. I thought you were talking about something that happened way back when. Mega Cropper, I just want to say hello to Mega Cropper. Good to see Star Trek Friday back. Yes, it'll come back every now and then. I will always have Star Trek eventually. And Franco Walker says, please share, hit like, and select live chat. And hello to DJ Knight.
Hey, DJ. Thanks, Franco.
Yep. Okay, so here we go. Max Redstein's there. Yes. And Gorilla's Random Thought says, gee, Jill, how inconsiderate. I'm trying to be depressed over here. And then you ruin it by reviewing the best Trek 2-parter ever. I'm actually not sorry, Gorilla's Random Thoughts, that I could achieve not allowing you to be depressed. It's not yeah. I'm glad I could help with that, Gorilla.
Always look on the bright side of life, my friend.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're feeling down. I hope something goes up for you. We're here for you. Penny? Hey, Penny.
Penny!
Oh, it's good to see Penny, too.
Giving the emoji
Hey,
hugs.
also, Aravic Sonder. Aravic Sonder's here. Hello. Also,
Aravic.
Matt G. Rob writes, Gen X pop culture. Hail all. One of my favorite episodes. It's one of my favorite episodes, too. Oh, no. What? 12359 was not an inside job. What? Oh, if you have a theory, I'd like to hear about it. Although, however, I'm not gonna.
Oh, that sounds like something Admiral Cartwright would do. We need to be attacked so we can strengthen our military.
Oh no. And of course I've got to say hello to Lemon Pie. So here's
Lemon.
So Ronald D. Moore wasn't a part of TNG too much yet. He had just gotten around, and he was new to Star Trek basically.
Well,
and
Ronald
D.
Moore.
Yeah, but he still has something to say about it. We were well into writing new episodes for the 4th season when the 3rd season finale, The Best of Both Worlds Part 1, was broadcast and all hell broke loose. That episode, Trek's first cliffhanger, touched a chord with the audience, and suddenly everyone was talking about TNG. We were seeing press clippings from all over the media with buzz about how wild it was to see Picard being Borgified into Locutus, and how stunning Riker's shout of fire was just before the final cut to black. No longer was the series derided for its newness or its differences from Star Trek the original series. All that went away after Best of Both Worlds, Moore noted.
Hi, the best of both worlds.
You felt the whole gestalt of it shift, and suddenly we were Star Trek.
Gestalt.
And so that quote comes from Chaos on the Bridge from the William Shatner documentary.
Oh, nice. Well, and I remember watching this episode, and I had been watching the first 2 seasons of The Next Generation, and I remember this cliffhanger, and I watched it with my dad, and we were both sort of tepid on Next Generation at that point. But I was like, well, I liked the Q episode with the Borg. I liked that one, so I'll watch this one. And it was such a cliffhanger. And me and my dad at the end of it, I was just like, that was awesome. And he was like, I still don't like it, but yes, it was.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So he was one of those people who didn't.
He still doesn't like Next Generation.
Next Generation.
He
but
still
this
doesn't
one,
like Next Generation, but he
liked it.
loves Best of Both Worlds Part 1.
Oh, that I wish Pop Culture Curator was here to have that opinion too. That would be interesting because I know he has those opinions about Picard.
Yeah, that's how my dad feels.
I remember
exactly like that.
Claudia and I were of the opinion that episode 1 stole the episode, the last word of dialogue from the last episode from Star 1, Blake 7.
Oh, from Blake
Fire.
7. Oh, really? Okay, and that's a cliffhanger too episode?
Yeah. Because at episode Star 1 was the cliffhanger where essentially that is Star 1 was Blake 7 had 13 episode series or seasons. They call them series.
Yeah, they call them series. And you get, speaking of which, the Blu-ray for season 1 has come out in the UK or their areas, and ours will come out in December.
Oh, thank you for. Oh, your I think your birthday's 10 days before.
10th, yes.
I'm the 20th. So,
Nice.
What was I going to say? Yeah. So at the end of the first series was the introduction of Aurak, and the end of the second series arc was finding Federation Central Control, which was eventually Star 1. So that was, and then the whole thing with Star 1 was, oh my God, it was a shield holding the aliens back, and then take down the shield holding the aliens back, and Blake said, okay, we have to hold back we have to fight the aliens coming in. So the Liberator goes and fights the aliens, and the very end of that episode is, okay, it's like we're going to fight the aliens and range blasters and fire.
And that they come up with a new way to try to defeat the aliens, that they had to come up with, that's completely unorthodox.
Well, they're just there and they have to fight the aliens. It's like it's like
it's possible.
Before.
Well, there is proof that TNG has borrowed from Red Dwarf a time or two, so why not?
Yeah.
Why not Blake 7 also possible?
Yeah.
And was there that is a good question. From the research I looked at, he did not. Patrick Stewart denies this, said he never considered leaving, and that that they were just a bunch of rumors that fans brewed up. But I'm not. I don't know. I can't find any.
What, something about the uniforms?
Well,
oh no, he absolutely did bitch about the uniforms over and over again. Like, I guess maybe there was so much contention from him. Maybe he complained and bitched so much, people just thought he wanted to leave.
Shakespearean actors only wear cotton costumes.
No nylon, no spandex.
This is 5% polyester.
Hello, hello, Outlaw Bill. I'm starting to get used to saying.
Should I, Bill?
No longer. He's now Outlaw Bill. I had your same problem. I was calling him that over and over again, and I'm trying to understand his meaning. So
well,
got it.
As a man who's given up on Star Wars as well, I'm okay with calling him Outlaw Bill. I would dismiss the religion of Jedi after recent events.
And that is logical. Wolf 359, The Massacre Part 1 by JTBFX, as Max Redstone had told us about, which is something. Yes, there are 2 parts to it, so that looks amazing. I mean, I'm sure it's amazing. I'm probably not going to share it because I don't want to get struck.
No,
but I'm
sure looking forward to
good.
Seeing it. It's rad.
Yeah,
me too.
Sounds
I'm glad.
I would love.
It's got some pretty. It has bits from Emissary Part 1, but it has bits from Emissary Part 1 and Best of Both Worlds Part 2, and it looks like I don't know if it has something from some other Paramount property, but it looks like there's some new AI in there. So.
Oh yeah, you never know when you're seeing some AI, but we do know when we're seeing a polar bear. So I'd like to say hello to Snortopoopus Cuber.
Poopas.
So the Best of Both Worlds first aired on June 18th, 1990. It was written by Michael Piller and directed by Chris Boyle. So there the idea that Patrick Stewart was leaving Star Trek were rumors, but
I heard a rumor.
But somebody who was actually thinking of leaving was Michael Piller. He thought this might be his last episode, so it could be why he made this whole thing so impossible to solve.
Yes,
here's a new enemy. No one can defeat them, and we're years away from even thinking of a good solution to defeating them.
Yeah.
I love that story about Michael Piller, that basically he was like, okay, so we're making a cliffhanger and we're going to involve the greatest villain that has been created so far in this series. Okay. Yep. They're about to kill Picard on the Borg cube. And then at the end of writing that story from the writer's room, and it's like, so what do we do now? And Michael Piller is like, I don't care. We'll solve it in September.
We'll do it later.
It's like going home early on a Friday. I love it, and I do think that Best of Both Worlds Part 1 is better than Best of Both Worlds Part 2, but I'm okay with Best of Both Worlds Part 2.
I'm okay with it too, but he didn't even think about how to solve it until he signed a contract for the next season.
I guess there is a particular genius that does there's a particular genius that kind of what do I want to say? There's a particular genius that comes about when the episode parallels, when later on there's the bearded Riker where it's like, you don't understand, in our reality the Borg are everywhere. Mm-hmm. That's like, so
yeah. Oh, absolutely. The callbacks. And I recently saw a tweet from Robert Meyer Burnett lamenting modern Star Trek and saying the reason why people liked Star Trek up until 2005 is that there was an established history. And once you start time traveling all over it, there is a department of temporal, there's a division of temporal mechanics or whatever. The two guys who show up in Trials and Tribulation.
Yeah.
And it's like part of the reason that people like Star Trek is because there is a history. And if you keep going backwards, it's going to suck. But then again, Discovery went forward and it kind of sucks too. So whatever.
Well, and he said it in different words than I say it, but Doug Drexler essentially said every single new Trek show is its own universe. None of them converge in any significant way, and that's a lot of fans have trouble with the fact that, of course, none of them really adhere to what's happened before.
Which is
just a fact.
Which is why it's so important to focus on the 735.
Yeah, I think the problem the fans have the most with the new stuff is it's bad. It's just piss poor. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
And fair warning.
Sorry.
The fair warning when you look up
we're reading
the
a chat.
JT.
We're reading a chat. That's not just Jill sneezing or pooping.
When you look when you look up the JT VFX, it's going to say watch Voyager on YouTube. So fair warning.
All right.
Okay. Oh, the names in this chat look like a Clobber Time stream. Well, you do know that everything I do is influenced from the Clobber Times channel, and it's something I say every time I have a milestone stream. Is that he's the one who got me behind the mic to begin with. He invited me to Gene Roddenberry's 100th birthday on his global geek gang, and he's why I'm here. And all of his friends, became my friends, and we're it's good that we can still be together. And I wish he were here. He did say he used to lurk my show, but Jill is purring. Hello, James Caserta. Hey,
Hey,
it's so
James.
good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I thought you were gone.
Oh, Rob Wright asked a good question that we'll get to about thoughts on Commander Shelby. Well, that's going to be interesting because I think we have divergent thoughts on her. So,
Yeah.
We do. Parallels is another favorite of mine. Yes, that's good too. I really do hear a lot of purring in the background, but anyway, we have a captain's log.
yeah, the cat came into the room. So,
Or Trill. Or Tribble.
no, that's not my cat. She came into the room. Say
Okay.
hello, Bellatrix.
Those are lovely sounds, so don't stop it.
Is she gorging on Quadrotriticale?
No, she's just she always demands attention.
Storage
Yeah.
Storage
West
compartments. Storage compartments. Sorry.
No, that's okay. You're quoting Tribbles, so it's okay. Wes Cagle, could you please go to the private chat and read the captain's log, our first one? We have a lot of captain's log and first officer logs.
Oh, that's great.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
great.
Yes. Captain's log, stardate 43989.1. The Enterprise has arrived at Jurat 4 in response to a distress signal from one of the Federation's outermost colonies.
And I love just the way the episode starts. We don't get any fluff in the teaser. The teaser is exactly what the teaser should be until it gets us interested in what's going on. And we get straight into the decimation of the colony on New Providence. There's no life signs, no communications. And they beam in and find nothing but a crater. And this is how you start an episode, because a lot of times, sometimes the episodes just start with a goofy joke, and sometimes those are fun, but this was actually about the episode, and that's even better to me.
Now
And look at this map painting.
Yes,
This map painting. It's amazing.
Okay. Here's my first problem.
Yeah, I've got one here too. Go ahead, Scott.
All right, maybe we share. Maybe we share the same problem.
We might,
because big ups to Chief O'Brien. But as established in Neutral Zone, they scoop up all of the technology into the Borg cube, and so this crater represents the colony of Providence. Yes, and so that means that all of the technology, O'Brien says right before they beam down, it's like, you should be in the center square. And it's like, no, the center square should be at the bottom of that crater.
It's exactly what I was thinking.
No, yes. It should. I mean, if he beamed them right to the center of town, he should have beamed them, I don't know, about 200 feet to the left, and then they should have fallen like 100 feet down.
No, they're sensors. He's not going to put them in midair.
Okay.
Yeah, but they should be in the center of that crater. I was thinking this. That's just me. Ever since I watched that channel, Citizens, I can't see anything like that without having a problem with it.
I mean,
what was it?
But couldn't they tell? Couldn't they tell that there was a Couldn't the sensors tell that there was like a humongous ground?
That's a good point.
It's like,
where are the buildings? Where are the buildings? Oh, they're gone.
It's like, okay, there was a distress call, but we haven't heard anything in 12 hours. Captain, we could take a sensory. No, let's not do that. Let's just go on the old information.
Well, it's more dramatic this way.
Maybe there is, and again, this is benefit of the doubt. Maybe there is sort of like a dampening field or something that's going on based on the electromagnetics of scooping out an entire city.
Okay, I got an idea. Energize.
Yes.
I don't know.
But you know what you're saying makes sense. If they're just taking the technology, they should have left all the lumber.
Oh,
Basically.
well, no, but I think this is an ice cream scoop.
Yeah, it just pulls everything.
But-
I mean, the soil's gone even.
And
too,
yeah,
so.
this happened before. So this
Remember
is
we had
not unprecedented.
We had a conversation about the Bussard Ram scoops yesterday, last night, Chill. And so maybe they can take the matter from the dirt and then, switch it over to replicating rations.
Well, I guess we do know something. We know whose milkshake brings all the Borg to the yard.
Is it Shelby?
No, I was saying Jure 4, but hey.
Oh, all right.
Thank you so much for subscribing.
Hey, that's wicked cool.
And Greek letters Larson is stealing the internet to watch, and Scotty's arguing whenever Borg need advanced sewage technology from.
Oh.
What? He didn't mention anything about that.
No, I think I did. I think I implied it.
Although I don't know about that. Oh, you did. I missed it.
Well, no, it's just a
It's always a good question, but Star Trek never answers questions like that.
But thank you so much.
I've never seen a toilet in Star Trek.
Assassin's Creed, I appreciate you, Karen.
Oh, and we have another captain's log, Max Redstone. If you want to finish your thought and then read his captain's log, please.
Captain's log, stardate 43992.6. Admiral Hansen and Lieutenant Commander Shelby of Starfleet Tactical have arrived to review the disappearance of New Providence Colony. No sign remains of the 900 inhabitants.
Oh, it kind of parallels Arena with the Gorn. We have an unexpected attack. And I'm not saying it's a direct parallel, but I enjoy the thematic.
Well, and thankfully we don't get a godlike being who's going to force us to fight the Borg. Well, because then the Borg would have to become a sympathetic character.
We already did get a godlike being who made us fight the Borg.
Yeah,
His name was
that's
Q.
true.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's what we did last time. That's how we met the Borg.
Captain's log, stardate 43992.7. My uniform is still not completely cotton. I'm going to contact my agent.
Well, and the whole reason Q did that was to prove to the Enterprise that, hey, you're no good. You can't be out here. You should stay home where you belong because you're not ready to be out here in space. You can't deal with what's out here. And here's Borg, and now they're having to deal with that bloody nose.
There's also a moral question about whether or not Q hastened the Borg.
Yes.
Whether Q hastened the Borg encounter, whether yes or no, whether Borg hastened the Borg encounter with humanity.
I think it's very clear that Q brought the Enterprise to the Borg 7,000 light years away from, and I think that Q did draw the attention of Borg to the Federation.
Yeah. Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, Guinan and Picard discussed that very thing at the end of that episode when she is talking to him and Picard realizes, oh my, they will be coming, won't they?
Yeah, and here they are. And so we also meet Hansen and Shelby. And they're here to tell the Enterprise everything that they know about what they've learned about the Borg, because as soon as the Enterprise encountered the Borg, Starfleet started working on weapons and strategy and all that from that encounter in Q-Who. So
I want to give a big ups to both Elizabeth Dennehy and George Murdoch here. George Murdoch obviously played God in Star Trek V. Elizabeth Dennehy is obviously a smoke show. I want to say also hello to FKHC 2005 and a big thank you to Jill. This is your job.
Matt G, who sends in a $2 super chat. Saw the best of both worlds in the theater, and that's something that I wish I'd done. I do know on the Blu-ray set of the Next Generation, they cut the best of both worlds, parts 1 and 2, together into one and remade it in a more cinematic fashion.
No, that's incorrect.
No, that's not correct. I didn't do that.
No,
they should have done that.
They did do that. It's not in the Blu-ray set though.
Where is it?
You have to buy the individual Blu-ray because they did release Best of Both Worlds as a single cinematic Blu-ray.
Okay, well, I'm corrected on that. I knew that they did that. I just didn't. I guess my memory failed me on how it was released. So thank you.
Also, speaking of the Blu-ray box set, one of the things that I was really looking forward to when watching this is because I've seen this movie so many times that I was like, oh, I've never seen the audio commentary on the Blu-ray. I'm going to watch the audio commentary on the Blu-ray. And no audio commentary on the Blu-ray.
Wow.
Oh, that's disappointing. But
I was upset.
This was only Elizabeth Dennehy's second ever dramatic role.
Oh, so she was pretty new. She does a really great job considering her inexperience behind the TV. Maybe did she do a lot of plays or something? Do you know about her career?
Well, she is the daughter of
Brian Dennehy.
Brian Dennehy.
Well, there you go. Definitely.
And so she would have grown up in a sort of performative family, I would assume.
She definitely seems like she knows what she's doing. I want to say good morning to Maddie's daddy.
Maddie's daddy. I haven't seen Maddie's daddy in forever.
I know. I'm seeing a lot of people I haven't seen in forever today. James Caserta says Q gets his powers from the Borg. What? No.
You should play the full motion video game, Star Trek Borg, where you get to see Q assimilated. It's fantastic.
What?
And
oh wow. Okay. There are things I don't know. I'm sorry, James Caserta.
We'll set that up for a Calto. We can't. They'll copyright it.
She does return in Star Trek Picard as Fleet Admiral Shelby.
Oh.
And she dies. And she's
dead.
Everyone dies in Star Trek Picard.
Basically. They're like, oh yeah, you like old Star Trek. We're gonna bring your character back to kill him. And kill Ensign Rowe too. And hello to FKHC 2005.
Will Wheaton, how would you like to come back to Star Trek? Great, you're gonna come for an episode of Picard. Oh, great, and die. What? Everyone dies in Picard, Mr. Wheaton. Everyone.
No. Wesley didn't die.
Is he still Traveler? No, I don't care what happens in New Trek. Why are you guys? When did this happen?
Mr. Wheaton, we killed the Traveler in the third episode of Picard. All right, deal with it. Everyone dies in Picard.
Let's focus on the task.
Okay. Why did they get pwned? Why did they get pwned by space nerds? Because they had to. This is Star Trek: The Next Generation, and our heroes must endure to be in next episode. So
they didn't get pwned by space nerds. The collective communists got busted by individuality and Picard's resolve. So it wasn't space nerds. Space nerdery did help, but let's not forget.
Thank you, Data.
That Picard is actually, and Data, an endeavor of humanity also. What happens when an artificial being arguably defeats a cybernetically enhanced one?
Sleep Data.
Oh, and speaking of giving quick explanations about characters in this episode, I struggled to separate the excellent Guinan character. Yes, I think she's excellent too. On TNG from the horrible one on The View. The Whoopi Goldberg. Well, she does an incredible performance in Star Trek because she really loves Star Trek, and I just want to hold on to that and not think about the politics that she holds and espouses. And
if I may interject, I would also like to say I love the Naked Gun movies, even though there is an alleged murderer in all three of them. I can watch O.J. Simpson movies until the cows come home and be fine with it. So if somebody says stupid stuff, it doesn't really bother me.
Scotty has a crush on Nordberg.
I have a crush on Nordberg. He reminds me of She-Hulk.
Wesley didn't die, but his career did. And that one made me giggle. Picard's dead. Always was. Yep, from season 1, yep. But I'm not talking about that though.
Jill, I'm so happy that this is basically a Star Trek free-for-all. I love this. This is a singularity of everybody loves Star Trek. So I'm so thankful. Thank you. Hey, Cole Meany.
The whole second episode is about individuality versus the collective. Exactly.
True story.
Cole Meany is here, and there's something very important about Cole Meany, and which we'll get to when we get to his scenes. There's no Keiko, but there's more than that. But if you watch this live stream, we will get to it. The truth of the matter is, hell, we are not ready. We knew they were coming for over a year. We've thrown every resource we have into it, but yeah, they're not ready.
You can't have your Keiko and eat it too.
Oh, I will.
Sorry.
And Commander Shelby took over Borg Tactical 6 months ago. I've learned to give her a wide latitude when I want to get things done. So Shelby knows what she's doing.
Well,
she's been studying the Borg this entire time.
And I would, it's interesting that there was never actually a Shelby sort of episode of Deep Space Nine, because after this, Sisko would have definitely been working closely with, I assume, Captain Shelby. She is the expert, and Sisko made the Defiant, the USS Sisko's pimp hand, and they would have worked together closely.
But the Borg were never part of Deep Space Nine.
No, but the reason. Okay, we'll get there. Well, we'll get there when we talk about Wolf 359, because that's when the Sisko stuff starts to jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Shelby does not work well with others, so she wouldn't work well with Sisko. So
okay.
She only gets it up for the taste of the darker kind.
I think I just really enjoyed her. I want to see her again.
Meantime,
I think she's assertive. I think that she is in command of every decision that she has. She is a strong female character, and it doesn't hurt that I think her uniform would look very good at the foot of my bed.
And difference between strong female character and arrogant, obnoxious female character. So
some people think that Shelby is arrogant and obnoxious.
Yeah, and bypassing the chain of command at every chance she gets, that don't fly so good.
But as Riker laments later, she's like, it's like, I used to be that guy.
Yeah, and every time Riker slaps her back, she says, "Oh, I'm sorry about that. I won't do it again." You keep using that phrase. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Nothing that she did was actually against regulations. It was just kind of skirting the law.
There was.
Yeah,
she violated the chain of command.
There's a case to be made that once the Borg made it clear that they were after Picard, that he should have been kind of sanitized from the decision-making chain of command. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but that's for the episode where we're talking about family, and he's been a Borg already, and
I'm just saying, it's like, okay, they've made it clear that they want him, so why would you now ask him why would you now like do an end run around Riker to why would you do an end run? No, I mean, because now you're like revealing now you're like revealing stuff to him. So now if potentially he was captured, then the Borg now know.
No, I disagree with that premise. Simply because there was no indication that Picard was going to be kidnapped. They addressed him directly, which was strange, but they had to figure it out. They didn't know there was a kidnapping plot.
They didn't know until the kidnapping actually happened. Yep.
Right, they were just interested at this point. Yeah.
Okay.
Rob
didn't care.
And that very issue is why they didn't want Picard dealing with the Borg in First Contact.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. I may be using too much hindsight.
So
and it's cool. We're going to be jumping all over the place,
and we can do that. But right now, we also want to get with the main plot, which is this is a Commander Riker show. He's refusing yet another commission, and
it's the third time we pulled out the big chair for him.
And Hansen says that Shelby would make a great first officer.
Already have a hell of a first officer.
I would, this is also part of the reason why I love William T. Riker, is the amount of confidence. Like, if you compare how, I love how Picard talks about Riker in Encounter at Farpoint, but in this being the season 3 finale, it really solidifies how much Picard has faith in William Riker. And I adore it. I think that this episode and Best of Both Worlds Part 2 is why I have faith in Will Riker.
Yes, and have faith in what he decides to do, where he decides to be, and maybe
unorthodox coming up with strategy.
He's been giving. This isn't the first time he's been given the captain's chair, as I mentioned, and he just won't sit. And there's a reason for it. There's something special about being on the flagship of the Federation that he doesn't want to leave.
Yeah.
I would rather be first officer on Anti-Derivative Jill's channel than have my own ship.
Oh, and that's something that's a trait of Spock also. Spock also never wanted to be captain.
Yep.
And I didn't even think about that. Rob Wright says, I don't like Shelby because she's too arrogant, but that's because the actor did an amazing job. She was there to push Riker, and it was interesting to see him get pushed and react.
Yeah. Exactly. That's
you're in my way.
Good job. That was her point, was to get the audience to be annoyed by her, which was great.
Yeah.
Yes, and James Caserta says the Dominions were the baddies in Deep Space Nine, but I think the reason why Scotty was mentioning it was because the Defiant was created specifically to fight the Borg, and so that might have been a fun little cameo.
Yes.
But, no, we didn't get it. And
the Defiant was built to kill Borg.
I think in real life, they would have told Riker to take a command or retire. Oh, do you think so? They wouldn't give him the choice? It's such a good officer, you just throw away a really good officer because they won't move up? Is that a thing that happens in the military?
Yeah, it is. It is a thing that it is a thing that does happen in the military.
Yeah,
but that's a thing.
You got to either poop or get off the pot.
Yes.
And thanks, Randall. But it's one of those things where there is a certain level of professionalism and protection that is Picard protecting Riker. Riker's been offered so many things. Riker doesn't want to do them. Picard's okay with that because Picard likes Riker. He is the best executive officer for the job. And everyone else is like, why doesn't he have ambition? And he's like, he does have ambition. His ambition is to be my best number one.
And so what if Riker actually reached the end of his ambition? This is everything he wanted, and he's perfectly happy where he is. And he doesn't want to move any further. And he just wants to play poker with his shipmates. You can't do that as easily if you're captain. And so he
Not until the last episode. Hey, look, it's Miles.
And Smiles, and also it's good to see Wesley being bad at something. So this episode, I actually like Wesley, and I actually like Troy in these two episodes. They're both good characters in this episode. Wesley isn't annoying, but I guess for Wes Cagle, we have Shelby for that.
Yeah. Oh, I wondered. Let's make Wesley less annoying because we already have Shelby.
And he was helpful. And the same thing with Troy. She wasn't annoying and she was helpful. Why couldn't they do this every time? But yes, now. Oh, they're already going. Did I miss the scene where they go to the where Riker is with Shelby in her quarters? I think I missed that. Yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she has her theory.
Do you have this dialogue?
No, I don't have dialogue, but I could say good because I intend to convince Captain Picard that I'm the right choice for the job. Is that the one you wanted? Job.
Whose job?
Job? Yours, of course. I'm sorry. I heard that you were leaving.
Well,
if I were,
we're playing poker at 1600 hours. Decade.
I'm sure you'd be the first to know.
Yeah.
Okay, and then of course this is where we find out that Shelby already beamed down to the planet because there was like some kind of weather, and all she had to do was send Riker a quick message, wake him up, say, "Hey Riker, I gotta go to the planet. We gotta go now. I just wanted to let you know." But she couldn't. It wouldn't take that long at all for her to just say what she was doing. But she did it even though she did this without talking to Riker. She did at least have a logical reason to get to the planet Earth early.
Yeah,
it
might have been a logical reason, but it was still this was intentional. This was a barb thrown right at Riker. I don't need you. We don't need you here, Riker. It's all right.
No, I disagree.
No, but she is an opponent. She is trying to take his spot.
Let's break this down. Admiral Hansen has a crush on Shelby, much like myself. And he is feeding her information. He's saying
old man's fantasies.
Old man's fantasies. And he's saying to Shelby, who's, you know what, her first name canonically is Elizabeth, same as the actress. And he told Elizabeth that Riker is getting promoted. He's going to get his own ship. The fleet wants Riker to have his own ship. So, if we go here, deal with this crisis, everything will be fine. Riker will get his own ship, and then you get to be the first officer on the Enterprise. That is the entire plan.
Yeah. But the thing that yes, she should have notified him, but she amends herself that.
Why would you tell somebody who's getting a promotion that they're getting a promotion?
Because Riker just told her in the previous scene that he's not intending to leave, or when I do, I'll tell you. You'll be the first to know when that happens. And so
at which point
he's trying to burst her bubble, and she's not really listening.
Well, and we do get to an introspective sort of conversation about that, about the ambition of Shelby and how Riker has lost that. Why does he want to stay? But we'll get there.
Well, okay, but what I like about this scene is even though she did something, she went without talking to Riker first, who was in charge of the away team. He says, "My problem is that I expect to be notified before there's a change in my orders." And she doesn't argue. She says, "Noted for future reference."
Hells yes.
Do you wish to hear my report? So what's great about that is that they move on to what she's learned. She recognizes she made a mistake and she amends herself. And I think that's the way competition can conflict can be done in Star Trek intelligently, and I enjoy it.
Yes.
There was no violence, there
Professional
was no anger,
competition.
there was no yelling.
What have I said since forever? I love Star Trek because it's a bunch of competent adults doing their jobs. And sometimes there's machinations, there's ambitions.
Definitely.
But everybody's doing their jobs, and Shelby takes a reprimand like a boss.
Yeah, she doesn't. She wants the command, but she's not throwing a tantrum. I enjoyed it.
Yes.
Because I watch a lot of more modern TV where everybody's yelling at each other and getting tired of it. And this was so refreshing.
Elizabeth
But we
Shelby
do have
does
another-
not cry.
No, but she also does not apologize sincerely either, in my opinion.
This is why
No, of course not.
This is
Scotty,
why I get a reprimand, because I'm the bestest.
Yeah, I've been chewed out. I get chewed out a lot.
Scotty R37, can you read the next captain's log?
Is this a Picard captain log?
Picard asks Riker about his future. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I
Yes.
want to know which accent. Am I being Riker or Picard?
This is still Picard. Picard hasn't been kidnapped yet.
Captain's log. Oh no, it's going to sound like Connery. Stardate 43993.5. With confirmation of the Borg's presence in Federation space, Admiral Hansen has returned to Starbase 324 to discuss strategy with Starfleet Command. Lieutenant Commander Shelby remains on board to continue tactical preparations.
So
That
they're
was
trying
alright.
to figure out.
That was like
Yeah,
a
it was
four.
okay, but I love the captain's logs in this episode because they also do what they need to do. They tell you exactly what's going on without too much flourishment. It's just the captain's logs are perfect because it tells you instantly that's what you're about to see is how do we defeat the Borg, and so they definitely do that.
Oh yeah.
Coming up, but I do. I
Hey,
do want to
Scotty, assimilate this.
I'm in.
Oh, hold on.
Assimilate this.
Thank you.
You're
I think
welcome.
everyone
Go ahead.
thanks you.
Please read. This,
In the
this
British Navy,
regular
flag
flag.
admirals were allowed a flag captain on their flagship. That's a lot of flags. Who ran the day-to-day business. The admiral was still senior. Riker could have been one of these, a privileged post. Yeah, but also let's not forget we're talking about Star Trek, and when Admiral Hansen is one of the few virtuous and good admirals in Star Trek. Name 4 good admirals in Star Trek.
Ross.
Yes. Ish.
Admiral
Good
Kirk.
enough.
Not 100%. Not 100%.
Oh, Admiral Kirk. That's
Admiral Kirk.
Yeah, he got demoted.
He wanted
Where
to be
can I
demoted.
find Admiral Kirk?
Yeah, exactly. Dude abandoned Khan.
Oh, speaking of which, we do get the. Okay, there will be a reference.
And don't forget Admiral Riker. Eventually.
No, I think he's still a captain.
No, he in All Good Things. He's an admiral, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's an alternate future that doesn't really happen.
Yeah, that's an alternate Q shenanigan. And what? I'm trying to figure out where I am. Let's see. This whole show is dreadfully miscast. Oh yeah. Oh well, they did want somebody else for that, but hey, you got opinions and you're sharing them, and I'm happy. And
what?
So, right. That's what I wanted to do. Now I remember. I had some videos I didn't play.
Good. Because I intend to convince Captain Picard that I'm the right choice for the job.
That was that quote that I read earlier. And
Noted for future reference.
Anyway, can I get down to business?
Well, what the hell are you still doing here?
I work here.
I actually want to cut out the will part and just use that at the very end of my live streams. Feel like how like at the end of Wheeler Stay Out.
Well, and I thought about it. I thought about this for your Calto streams. Is that you should get Picard saying "Sleep, Data, sleep."
Wait, why is that good for Calto?
Because they're usually late at night.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Data has a great line here. Where I believe Shelby, Commander Shelby has erred. There are no avian or vermicular life forms here.
Oh yes, absolutely, guys. If you have your scripts handy or you get memory, you remember a good line, please feel free to.
Sing
yes,
along.
that was a funny line and definitely worth mentioning.
Well, and also,
so Jordy's just like,
yeah, go ahead.
That's not what she meant, but she has erred.
Yeah,
beautiful. Oh my god, I love Michael Piller so much. I think that Michael Piller, had he survived, would have been a better ambassador for Star Trek, and he could have carried on the flame of Rick Berman. But unfortunately, he sadly passed away. And not only he, but
Early.
Well, I think. Oh, really?
Yeah.
You think Hurley?
Early Bird. I believe Commander Shelby erred. There is no evidence of avifaunal or crawling vermicular life forms on Juray 4. That's not what she meant, Data. But you're right. She erred.
Oh, good reading.
Yeah. I have one request.
Yes.
When you find those and there are two people talking,
sorry.
Cut and paste, drop them in the private chat so other people can play.
Gotcha.
But that's just because I'm selfish and I love singing along with this episode.
I'm more selfish than you.
Yeah, well, I don't want to compete on that one.
But speaking of people sharing things, Rob Wright was saying earlier that Melbourne does get destroyed later in the Battle of Wolf 359, and that is the ship that he's being offered right here. Riker is being offered the command of that ship. And
it wouldn't have
he's
been
considering
destroyed.
it.
Hansen's dark plot to undo Hansen's dark plot to take out Riker.
Well, and this is
and himself.
Well, it turned against him. Excuse me, Admiral Hansen. Just one more question.
But this is interesting, just because you mentioned, Jill, that you like Troy and
I do,
and Wesley in this. I was focusing so much on Guinan and her input in Best of Both Worlds Part 2 that I forgot about this scene. And she is absolutely the voice of reason for Riker in this, in terms of appreciate Shelby. And not in an imposing way. He says, I miss these things about me. She reminds me of me. I used to be that way. And I miss those things. And that's where the seasoned things come from. And it's like,
Troy says you haven't lost anything. You've gained, you've matured. And you've become more comfortable.
It's really what Deanna Troi is supposed to be, which is counsel to command staff.
Totes.
Yeah,
it's just amazing to see her doing her job.
Yeah, she's doing. She's not talking to him as a friend here. She's talking to him in her capacity. It seems like more.
Deanna Troi does her job. Absolutely amazing.
Yep. And where
Canadian Spider-Man.
Oh, Spidey's here. Hello. Please
I
read
want
it.
to say hello, but also I want to address this directly. Trying really hard to separate Whoopi from her character, but she's been such an insufferable cow lately. If you would like to undermine Whoopi Goldberg's authority, all you have to do is watch the movie Theodore Rex and realize that she will do anything for money. If you would like to go on YouTube and see her standing beside Ted Danson in blackface, she has no moral authority. So don't worry about it. Guinan is cool.
But you know what? If you watch
Whoopi may not be.
If you watch a clip of her from The View of late, she looks more like the Borg Queen.
You leave Agnes Girardi alone.
Oh no, I knew that was going to come up in this.
That's it. I used up my Agnes. I
only like her in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, I love her, and she's a great drummer.
She is, yeah. But like I mentioned earlier, Pillar was thinking about leaving at this point, and he intended this to be his last gift to Star Trek. Apparently his struggle with whether or not to leave was mirrored in Riker's struggle.
Was he Greek?
Of becoming.
Beware Greeks bearing gifts.
I thought it was Romulans.
Yeah. And that this is a difficult gift because it's an amazing episode, but how do you finish it? Yeah. He says, by the end of the season, I was struggling with whether to or not to stay or leave. And this came out in the screenplay for Best of Both Worlds Part 1 as Riker spoke about those issues. Pillar also commented that he found this mirroring to be very interesting So that's why that happens. That's why the script is so good, because it's reflective of reality in some ways, and I think that's really telling. But getting back to the episode, the Borg's subspace field was manipulated somehow. There's a pattern of 4.8 minutes that happened during the attack. So I love the fact that they're going back to Q-Who. You don't have to have watched Q-Who to understand that they're analyzing a previous battle, a previous encounter with the Borg. And this is how you do a callback successfully, because it doesn't confuse anyone, and it actually serves the purpose, and it serves the technology that they're talking about. There's anything that they talk about actually makes sense, because it is referring to things that have actually happened. And Geordi says it could be that this is when the Borg ramp up their energy, and Shelby agrees with him. She says the ship may be activating redundant power sources. And this is also something we knew about in Q-Who, but it's repeating it for you in case you haven't seen that episode. And then Data backs her up, saying that it makes sense, because that would correlate to how you have each Borg member work together, so you have several power sources.
It's the Will Riker seasoning.
But like if you consider it as being technobabble history,
no,
I do,
it's
and I'm saying
no. This isn't what I'm actually saying. This is not technobabble, because it all makes sense. It's not babble at all.
Well, we are talking about a giant space cube from aliens from another quadrant of space that has been arbitrarily mapped out based on a television show. So I do think it's kind of technobabble. When was the last time you traveled at the speed of light? So, but it is something that is historically accurate to the television show itself. It is saying this is what happened last time. And they didn't even do a last time on Star Trek to reestablish these villains.
No, they didn't have to, because it's self-contained.
Yes.
Even with a history. The history just makes it richer.
Yes. And yes.
I think this is science fiction done right, because this reminds me of when you have several computer servers working as a backup all together in case one goes down. So this is essentially what Wesley says in different words, but Wesley and I are on the same page in this episode. He's doing a good job.
Oh, Jill's in love with Wesley.
Only in this episode. Oh my God, shut up. No, I normally hate him.
Someone clip that. Only in this episode.
Adorba hate.
So,
Don't worry. He'll be killed by a something later.
I can only hope. But 78% of the ship could be destroyed and the Borg can still function. I don't know how long that lasts. I don't know if that's ever really brought up again or if that's ever a thing in any way.
Well,
that might.
Well, in First Contact.
Yeah, how big was the Borg sphere?
Oh, okay. Hey, there you go. Maybe someone did use it.
22% of the Borg sphere was destroyed or was survived.
Oh. And that leaves it with 78% left. So it was destroyed.
Science.
And oh shit, 78% was destroyed and it was still there. Okay, wow.
We didn't know there was a cube in there or a sphere.
What? Then I'm glad somebody actually used that number again.
Oh, they don't mention it. I'm just supposing.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying. I wasn't sure. Okay. So.
No, I'm making shit up because this is fiction.
Oh man, I thought you were saying real things.
But it does correlate. It makes sense, right?
But we have another instance of Shelby and Riker going at it. Everyone's saying they're tired, and Shelby says, "Let's fiddle with the plasma phaser design." And
this is so good.
This is
so good with Riker. It's like Commander Data doesn't need rest, says Shelby. And
that's right, I don't.
And then Riker is like, yeah, but you do. You do. We need you. He's still like, even when Riker is reprimanding Shelby, he is saying, I understand that you want to go guns a-blazing, full tilt boogie, but we do need you to be on your game. So if you could do that, that would be great. And she's like, I can do it forever. And it's like, shut up. No, you can't. Go take a nap. I love this episode so much because everybody's doing their jobs to the best of their abilities.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, but neither of them are actually really wrong. It's important for them to solve the problem, but if you're too tired to actually fight the Borg, if you're dead tired, you're basically going to be dead. So
well, don't they say that you can't fight the Borg if you're fighting your own fatigue?
Yes. Riker could run a starbase. I bet the command is equivalent to port. Oh man, but would Riker would he be happy running a starbase?
No.
No. I can't unsee Troy as Commander Camel 2 after so many weeks of Raquel calling her that. Well,
maybe if Riker was getting Jamaharon.
Well, and she's not wrong to say that either. Franco Walker says, "Please subscribe and hit the bell, share, hit like, and select live chat." That's why I have to wait all the way until Chain of Command for Troy to realize that she has a uniform. Rob writes, Gen X Pop Culture says, question, should they have done a Riker spinoff show at this point or some other time? Well, and a lot of people were postulating that, yeah, Picard would leave. Riker would be captain and Shelby would become first officer.
Well, and you can check out Lower Decks if you want to see. There's an ensign named Boimler.
Huh?
Oh, no, it's on Lower Decks. You get to see the Titan.
Oh, right. The Titan. Okay, right. Where they actually... Oh.
But it's a sitcom and it's animated, so it's not necessarily as good.
It's Saturday night.
It's certainly
live.
Not good.
It's Saturday Night Live.
No, it's Saturday morning cartoons.
Saturday morning cartoon live.
Lower Dregs.
Satire. Yeah.
I'm a fan. I like it. But I don't want to
I've seen more episodes than you, and I don't like. Yeah, I've seen more episodes than you have, and I don't like it. If you like Marina Sirtis, she gets stripped bare in the Wicked Women old movie.
Oh, and if you don't like Marina Sirtis, she also gets stripped bare in Death Wish 3 and
Yep.
she has mentioned that it was one of the worst experiences of her life. So if you want to torture, that's the one.
Thanks for being here, friends. If you want to help grow this channel, then pretty please consider hitting the subscribe button. It's free. And if you click on notifications, you'll never miss us here. Thank you, Canadian Spider-Man. You're amazing.
Yes, true.
You don't in desperate times you don't have the luxury of sleep. You can keep going. And that's
don't.
actually a big theme in Lord of the Rings, but we're not.
Well, here's the thing. Like, don't they have like space stimulants?
Oh, they've had those forever, but what do you want?
Coffee?
Performance enhancing drugs in the place of actual.
I'm just saying. You know.
All right. No, I'm just asking you, which would you prefer? Natural sleep, or you want your entire crew on drugs? Your senior officers, not even the entire crew, just your senior officers.
Oh.
If the existence of humanity is on the if the existence of humanity is on the
based
table,
on performance enhancing drugs,
I want maximum performance.
Yeah, well, it doesn't always work out well. I mean, the Germans were using Prevotine, which is methamphetamines, for their soldiers, and that didn't work out.
And that goes back to Gene Roddenberry not really wanting drugs on Star Trek. Space drugs. Don't waste your time trying to check out Marina Sirtis naked. She's not all that much to snort a Poopus cube.
Poopus is actually, you know what? I don't want to besmirch Marina Sirtis, but when you do finally see Marina Sirtis in the undress, it's not a big
boingo.
One of the best things about the special effects of Star Trek are the costumes.
Oh no, I think
they really support and lift.
Boingo.
So we got bleak. Okay, so this is where I start to notice the music in these episodes are amazing. Bleak, they make things really bleak and chilling, just the atmosphere of it. With the report that the Lalos has been assimilated, and then the crew comes up with new ideas for the defense, like modulating the shield mutation. No time is wasted here. There's you know that given the music, we're gonna be hearing some bad news. And
this is the best part.
And and the Enterprise is only an hour away, but the rest of the fleet would take almost a week to get there. So there's a thing where there aren't a lot of ships that are going to be fighting the Borg, but they're going to do their best. And so they also get the idea of their defenses would also be to retuning the phaser to a higher EM base emitting frequencies to try to disrupt their subspace field, and that is
modulate the phasers.
Mm-hmm. And
we have engaged the Borg.
And so they're
We've engaged to the Borg.
Yeah, so normally the Borg. Okay, so this is something that really sounded weird to me. I didn't want to believe it. They said the Borg normally only care about absorbing technology, but now they're interested in humans. But so sorry about that. Okay, so this is something that gets retconned or something. Apparently in Q-Who, the Borg just cared about technology, but now they're interested in Picard. But of course, as we see in the future and forever, the Borg always care about assimilating not just technology, but the people themselves, the humans, the other races, anybody that they can assimilate. And I guess that's just something that wasn't exactly established at this point, and so.
People develop.
It is established in this point because they assimilate Picard. It's strange dialogue to hear something that is false, but
people
becomes true later.
Sorry, people develop the technology and the tactics. So,
yes.
Well, they do say we will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own.
They don't say biological in this episode.
Yeah.
But they say your
No?
culture. Oh yeah, they do. They do say biological. You're right. And so then it is established in this episode. So why does she say, "Oh, they didn't care about tech. They didn't care about humans before, but now they do." But I guess they didn't in Q-Who is what it is. So this is when the Borg changed from just caring about assimilating technology to now also they want to assimilate you.
Well, and great expansion of the lore in terms of because before remember
it's expressed a little bit shakily, is all I'm saying.
But remember in Q-Who there was a Borg baby, that poor baby. Like I mean the actor. When they made the baby a Borg, like can you imagine being a baby and having all those prosthetics put on you? Anyway, so yes. But this is the thing, is that now you know that there is more of an insidious assimilation of the Borg. And Locutus is more than likely the definitive example of what these space zombies can do.
And also, the Borg have their first... Okay, I'm on board too. I was just trying to figure out the pieces of what happened here, and I think it was just that this element of the Borg didn't exist before, now it does. And the Borg say, Jean-Luc Picard, captain of the Starship Enterprise, registered
NCC 1701D.
You will lower your shields and prepare to transport yourself aboard our vessel. If you do not cooperate, we will destroy your ship. And so the shield thing works for a few seconds that they figured out the mutation, but as Riker says, they've adapted.
If you do not cooperate, we will destroy your ship.
And so changing phaser frequencies didn't help either. And so
what the hell do they want with you?
And speaking of matte paintings, this is another gorgeous matte painting in this episode.
Absolutely.
I miss matte paintings.
And you would figure you could make digital matte paintings this beautiful.
Yeah, and I didn't know it was a matte painting until today, honestly, to tell you the truth.
Well,
I was like, what? I didn't know how they did that.
And I have a question for everyone, considering this slide. I've always thought that the Enterprise D was rather elegant. Like, I really enjoy the Enterprise D. However, maybe, and I'm sort of qualifying my question, is it because they took the saucer separation model out of mothballs? Or does the Enterprise look like the Enterprise with a turtle head on it? Like, I don't like the saucer section in these two episodes. And I'm wondering if it's because they were using the saucer separation model.
Oh, you think it's a different model? I'm sorry.
Well,
yeah, could be.
Well, saucer separation was always conceptually part of the Enterprise, but they never really used it.
Yes, the apple.
But it looks like they're making no headway. The Borg have them with their tractor beam, and they're cutting a hole in engineering, and everybody has to evacuate there. We get that cool... Well, I meant to get a video of it, of Geordi making it out of the warp, the engine room, and just in the nick of time. Just that's the coolest.
Max Redstone has a great idea, Jill. If you want to go to the private chat.
Oh, sure.
So you be Shelby.
Okay.
Max Redstone will be Picard. Wes Cagle will be Worf. And I'll be LaForge.
Wait, what am I?
You're Jill is Shelby. I'm Geordi. Wes Cagle is Worf, and Max, you are Picard.
Okay.
So Jill starts.
I thought they weren't interested in human life forms, only our technology.
The priorities seem to have changed. Open.
General open.
We have developed new defense capabilities since our last meeting, and we are prepared to use them if you do not withdraw from Federation space.
Captain. Great.
Oh, so.
But why do we have the evacuation sequence? That's why I didn't continue on with
because,
that.
Because
to start off with.
Oh, you know what?
Let's go.
Sorry.
Let's go. That's just fun. No, it's just visually fun.
It's just fun.
We don't have
it's
to. We don't have to read that.
To do the lyrics.
We can't read the entire script. But yeah, so
I skipped a part because that's where they do the cutting beam into Deck 36.
It's fun.
Well, in Wes Cagle, I'm sorry to make you Worf. Like one word.
No, Worf is good.
That was rude. You should have been LaForge. I also had one word.
And everybody, when I say it's fun to see Geordi, getting under that it was very visually.
He does a really cool roll sequence.
But what was not fun? Yes, the roll was good, but what was not fun was the 11 people that died.
Oh yeah.
We lost a lot of good people down there, Captain. He says that like 3 times in the show.
In Q-Who, they do a much better like cut sequence out of the Enterprise.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totes.
Agreed.
That go back one. No, to Shelby.
I know, but the way my video is set up, I have to do that.
This is the thing: is Commander Shelby's O face. Moving on.
Oh.
All right, have we reached this part of the live stream, or are we already there?
No. I'm just making a joke. Also, This is my favorite thing because this is when you get to see all of the phaser arrays.
Yep.
Like even the ones on the warp pylons,
on the nacelles.
Yeah, that is something that I didn't even know they could do until this episode.
I don't think we ever see it again.
I'm not sure.
I only ever remember seeing, aside from that scene there, I only remember seeing it from the saucer section. I was surprised when I saw it come from the nacelles.
Because there are phaser, because if you look at the model, there are phaser banks. There are phaser banks underneath the nacelles, and then there's 2 banks on the back, up on the top, on the back aft, and there's 2 banks on the bottom, aft, underneath the aft. Anyway, sorry.
Confirm for me.
Yeah.
So there's the semicircle on top, semicircle on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Those are the main
There
phaser
is
banks.
one right underneath the deflector dish.
Yes.
And then there are 2 on the nacelle pylons.
Yes.
That's all I know about. Maybe there's more.
Then there are 2 small ones. There are 4 small ones, 2 above, 2 below, right at the aft torpedo launcher. And there's also, I believe there's also another arc on by the shield generators at the aft of the saucer section. You know what? I'll call up a technical drawing.
Yeah, we have to figure this out.
And while we're figuring that out, I'd like to cut in that Shelby has the idea to fluctuate the phaser frequencies every single second, which is just something that Data is well equipped to do, so that the Borg don't have time to adapt, and that ends up working.
Okay.
By the way, which is based on Worf's tactical skill from Q-Who when he does alter the resonance of his hand phaser to destroy the interloping Borg intruder from Q-Who in engineering. So this Shelby has researched the Borg to the nth degree, not to reference that particular episode. Meanwhile, back in Regula 1.
Yeah. Well. The good thing that Picard knew just what to do, and there was a nebula nearby, and just so lucky that it's not it's the Paulson Nebula, but it looks very
Commander
similar.
Data, take us into Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. It looks very much like the Mutara Nebula.
Looks like it. It's probably a reuse of the same special effect.
Yeah, it does look a lot like that, but this shot right here, that looks like the V'ger cloud.
It looks like my next.
The V'ger cloud was blue and it had a bit of a grid.
Okay, so
not to disagree, I get where you're coming from, though.
Okay, so there is looking at the dorsal view. There is the main phaser arc. There are two small phasers on the back. There's two small phaser and then on the back. By the aft torpedo launcher, there's two. Then there is the ventral phaser array. And then there's the two on the bottom by the aft. There's one on either nacelle. And yeah, I believe that is it.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, then there is the phaser array. Then there is the phaser array by the battle bridge, which you can only use in
when
separation.
The saucer is separated. Right,
yes.
right.
Yes.
This is the best thing. This is exactly why we're here. Nerds. I'm sorry. I thought this was a Star Trek broadcast.
Well, I knew I invited Max Redstone for a reason, and I didn't know what that reason was until just now.
There you go.
Just to know about all the armaments of the Enterprise D. I don't pay attention as much to that, and I'm glad
I do have a copy of the Star Trek Technical Manual signed by Mike Akuda.
Oh, Moses. That's amazing.
Goodness. I did buy it at the convention, but I didn't get it signed. I wasn't that smart. Well done.
Anyhow.
All right, I got to step away for a second. I'll be back in approximately 18 minutes.
18 minutes. Timer.
Okay,
Go.
18 minutes. And 18, well, okay, so in that time, we're going to be able to get through some of these slides. There's this one. Okay, so we need... Okay, so I'm at, it's too great a risk.
Good news!
Captain
Scott will
Plomeek.
shut up for 18 minutes.
Yes, I was making that joke, and I was hoping you had heard it.
Thank heavens he's gone.
But only because I have limited time, because I do have to pick up children, so I do want to make a little headway into this. But I do also have a lot. I do like Scotty. I was just funning around, but I do have a lot of quotes in here. I obviously can't read all of it. We may need power from the saucer impulse engines, but okay. So this is where they're coming up with that idea to use the deflector.
And this is also just to bring up a macro point. This is also where having like 1,014 people aboard, mostly families, is just a major liability.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's one of the reasons Shelby is proposing to separate. And I suppose nobody actually says that, but I suppose that's one of the reasons she wants to do it.
Yeah, just saying.
Mm-hmm. So there's a 2% drop of power. Oh, right. Okay, so they're analyzing what just happened. And if we can generate a concentrated burst of power for that same frequency distribution, I mean a lot more than our phasers or our photon torpedoes, can provide, and they're going to do that with the main deflector dish. It's the only component designed to channel that much power, and so they're going to have to use a great amount of power in order to do that. Even from the impulse engines, and so that's why they can't be in warp when they use this weapon, and so that's why later on it's a problem that the Borg are at warp. And so I love how this scene sets up the later conflict action that we see in the other part of the episode. So everything comes together in a wonderful way, and so I have to explain what comes later to say how much I appreciate it. That the like I said, the technobabble isn't for nothing. It actually means something. And also, this is a good time to talk about Elizabeth Dennehy. She said she found this to be the hardest of the two-parter, harder than the second one. She didn't have as much to do in this one. She said she was experiencing difficulty in playing an authority figure. And so she says, I didn't know anything about the show, and I had to look like I knew because I was in charge. I was a commander, and the hardest thing in the world to do was to make that dialogue sound like I spoke that way all the time. It was impossible. It's so easy to remember and memorize lines when they make logical sense, or when you get blocked and you say, I move over here and I say this. But this wasn't just memorizing times tables. It was just 2 times 2 is 4. I just didn't know what a manipulation effect in the Borg's ship's subspace meant. That's not English. It was like learning a foreign language by phonetics. It was just grueling. And so that's from the Unauthorized Complete Trek Voyages, page 200. And so then, okay, so let's get to Picard's ready room, because that's where I should be in my slides. And so we've caught up with that. Enterprise D looking good in the nebula, having escaped the Borg cube's tractor beam and heading on in there. And that gives them some time to come up with a plan to use the main deflector dish, as already explained. With enough, but also Shelby's idea to separate the saucer section. Riker doesn't like it, but Picard's right to say it should be. Okay, so this is the other time that West Kago's not going to like Shelby. She goes over Riker's head and tells this plan to Picard, and he says, "You got to make it a backup plan. This has to be a backup plan." And so Riker says yes, and it does make sense. It is, and it ends up turning into something that actually helps Riker win the day later. And so that's another setup and the setups and the payoffs in this two-parter are incredible. And so that's something that Michael Piller was responsible for. Nothing in this episode is extraneous filler. Every scene is important. Everything is awesome.
You're in my way.
Yeah, exactly. You're in my way. I have that clip also. Let's play that one.
You're in my way.
Yes, exactly. And so she says, I love that they don't, but the thing is, they're doing this in the turbo lift. They don't have the fight in front of the captain or on the bridge. They wait until they get into the turbo lift, which is proper Star Trek. And yeah, so yes, the deflector dish idea is born here, and Shelby's defiance towards Riker when she jumps over his head to get her idea to be considered by the captain. Yes, that is. She's definitely riling him up on purpose. A true troll going on here.
Yeah, she plays that very well. When they're talking in the ready room, and Picard is kind of siding with her that it has to be backup, you can see the smug look that she has on her face, and it is priceless.
Yeah, you disagree with me. Fine. You need to take it to the captain. Fine. Through me. You do an end run around me again, I'll snap you back so hard, you'll think you're a first-year cadet again. And so that's pretty clear.
It was, yeah.
But
all you know how to do is play it safe.
Yeah, exactly. I suppose that's why someone like you sits in the shadow of a great man for as long as you have, passing up one command after another. Proceed to decade.
Yeah, that's ouch. That's ouch time right there.
But then Riker says, when it comes to this ship and this crew, you're damn right I play it. See? And because he really, if you can't make the big decisions, I suggest you make room for someone who can. Oh gosh. And Pillar says something, I guess I put this in my notes here, so let's see what it says. We had no idea it was really a Riker story when we started out. I came up with the idea of having the Shelby character come on board to challenge Riker. That seemed to play into the Riker emotions and the conflict over whether to take the job or not. And that built into the issue of whether or not he was big enough to fill the center chair. And then we have this captain's log. We're still Picard. And I believe I would like Wes Cagle to read it. So Scotty R37 says, don't kill Jen Sisko without me. We're nowhere close to a second episode yet. That's why I'm trying to catch up. So I need Wes Cagle to read for me this captain's log, and I'm going to see what we can bring up from the chat while you do that.
Sure.
Thank you.
Captain's log, stardate 43996.2. The Enterprise remains concealed in the dust cloud, and to my surprise, the Borg have maintained their position, waiting for us to come out of hiding. I have no explanation for their special interest in me or this ship. We continue to prepare our defenses for the inevitable confrontation, but I must admit, on this night, I contemplate the distinct possibility that no defense may be adequate against this enemy.
Because they know all of their tactical information, and it doesn't seem like any of it could stand up to the Borg. James Caserta says it's a ship of peace through superior firepower. Yes, and that's the only way to have peace, really.
Yeah, to make the other side afraid to fight you.
It's like, why don't they just make a really, 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 really big nuclear weapon?
Genesis?
Genesis.
She was a lot better than Kate Mulgrew, in my opinion. I agree. I think so too. I think she had a lot of potential, and they're setting her up as a reflection of what Riker used to be. And so as she grows older, and as we see, if we got to see her grow as a character, I think eventually she would even out, and she would stop trying to get, to sneak around and try to weasel her way around everything. I think she would balance out eventually.
Go, gadget anti-assimilation beam.
I think she has potential. She did a good job. Although I love Best of Both Worlds, my number one TNG episode is the series finale, All Good Things. Yeah, I agree, Donnie, and I wish that the people making the special features who turned this episode, put the two parters together, also got to do that with All Good Things in terms of making it seem like a movie. Because a lot of people do say All Good Things is the best TNG movie. Scotty free. Yeah, Scotty's free for a little bit. I don't know what he's I'm answering a question in a private chat. Hold on just a second. Okay, done. And hello to Donnie. Yes, I already said that. Okay, there we go. And Picard is wary and wonders. Let's catch up our slides with my notes. I was disappointed with All Good Things. Oh, really, Franco? Franco was disappointed with it. Well, I'm just trying to figure out if I can use any of these nebula shots as a screensaver. It must be the end of our civilization. Here we go. Picard is wary. He wonders that this confrontation could spell the end of humanity. And Guinan says, even if this doesn't go well and people are or destroyed. As long as some of humanity survives, then it's all is not totally lost, because that's exactly what happened to her.
It's
But
his Admiral Nelson walk.
Yeah, well, even though she's being very helpful and trying to be positive, I can see through her acting that she's disconcerted by this. So she went through this. Her people were destroyed by the Borg, and that's something she speaks from experience. Her planet was destroyed, but some of her species have continued, and hopefully, she meets some of them at some point. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's that scene. And
The people are destroyed, but the spirit lives on.
And as long as not all of the people are destroyed, or you put some of your history into a probe that encounters some other life form and forces them to live a life in their society for 20 minutes, but it feels like 30 years, and then you have the inner light.
And make sure you put a flute in there.
The flute.
Okay, so they have magnetometric guided charges. So the Borg, they're using magnets, and they find the Enterprise, and so their little hiding spot is disrupted. And what happens next? We're at the main crux of the episode, where Picard is about to be kidnapped. Finally, everybody was waiting for that. Scotty will catch up at some point. Trust me. Yeah, Donnie, he will. He told me exactly where to stop if I have to stop, and I'm nowhere near there yet. Or wait, maybe I am. Am I already at the end?
No.
No.
Next episode.
See,
next episode.
That's the next episode, and we're not even we're just at the kidnapping right now. So we're good. We can kidnap Picard all we like. So the thing with kidnapping Picard is that, okay, so the people who created Star Trek really wanted to have the Borg to have a queen bee, because they wanted the Borg aura hive. Oh no, my headphones are dying. So, but anyway, Pillar didn't want to have a queen bee. He said, to me, there was something special and frightening about the Borg that their lack of character brought. For a show that dwells and specializes in character, to be challenged and possibly destroyed by a characterless villain seemed to me to be a special kind of threat. But when we started talking about the cliffhanger and the Borg, we really did talk about who was going to be the queen bee. And so this is where Pillar comes up with the idea of having Picard assimilated. And so he says, it just all fell into place. I got it. Picard will be the queen bee. And so that never occurred to me. And this is from the Captain's Log, Unauthorized Complete Trek Voyages, page 199. And so the Borg ship is getting out of there, and Riker pursues it because it's got his captain. And the Borg are heading to Earth. That's the main
Sector 001.
Mm-hmm. And they're okay, yes. And that's the main important part of that part. But Picard posits that his culture will not adapt for the Borg because his culture is based on freedom and self-determination. In order to assimilate humanity, Picard has been chosen as a voice to overcome them. And I wonder, so by assimilating Picard, they will gain everything that he knows about humanity and Starfleet. And so I appreciate the quote here that he has. Picard. A lot of people say Picard isn't brave, but I think he is here when he's facing the Borg and talking to them. And it also, at the same time this is happening, Riker is forced into the leadership role that all this time he has shunned. Oh. Okay.
Hold on. I'm trying to... Oh.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I was also distracted. Snortapoopa says it was a good idea to let Picard be assimilated. The Borg would have offered to negotiate, hold a staff meeting, or outright surrender. Oh, that's only if the Borg assimilated, like not just assimilated Picard, but just decided everything that the Borg stands for doesn't matter anymore, except for that we're all one, and we'll just take all of Picard's personality and become the Picard Borg. That would be something else.
Picard Borg.
That would be hilarious.
Did I make it?
You made it like way ahead. The Picard just barely got assimilated, so you're good to go.
Great.
Le Picard Borg.
Resistance is futile.
But this scene with Picard talking to the Borg reminds me of the one Kirk had the first time he destroyed a computer in Return of the Archons when Captain Kirk says,
"Without freedom of choice, there is no creativity.
There is no creativity.
Without creativity, there is no life.
The body dies, the fault is yours." And by in parallel,
my culture is based on freedom and self-determination.
Hells yes.
Freedom is irrelevant. Self-determination is irrelevant. You must comply.
Yes,
but
resistance is futile.
But that's what makes this episode so great, is because it does, as you mentioned before, Jill, and I'm sure everyone else has, is that this does kind of echo an original series, specifically the one that you just showed. And one of the things that follow-ups can do, which really turns things on their ear, is, remember when Kirk did it? Yes. Now Picard's going to do it. And guess what Picard's going to do? He's going to lose. Like, that's amazing.
He doesn't defeat the computer here.
No.
It takes that's the difference between TOS and TNG. In TOS, Captain Kirk saves the day. And TNG, the captain, he
suffers the consequences.
He does. You need a team. You need a team. You need everybody. You need your entire crew to get out of this one.
It's what makes this epic. It's what makes this epic.
It's something. It's an argument I've had with Pop Culture Curator about Geordi LaForge as an engineer. Is that he doesn't think Geordi feels that the ship is like a lady, or he doesn't think it's like a character or anything like. And he's always needing help, but that's TNG. You always need team effort. Geordi needs data. Sometimes Geordi needs more than just data, and it's always a collaboration.
It is.
Well,
it's never just.
If I may venture a little bit of a filthy Friday, part of the reason why I was satisfied with Picard season 3 is...
Oh no, you said you weren't.
I know, but just give me this 1 minute. Is that Geordi recreated the Enterprise D? Geordi loves the D, and I don't mean that. But you know what I mean. And what I'm saying is that when Scotty walks up to the holodeck and says no bloody A, B, C, or D, Geordi walks up to the holodeck and says, I want to see the Enterprise. Show me my ship. Well, there have been as many designations as there have been. And he's like, give me the D. That's what he says.
No, but why that doesn't work is because he does it all by himself in this big space station. Nobody knew about it.
I know it's stupid, but it tugs at my nostalgia strings, and I'm a reread.
It does for a lot of people. Donnie likes it too. It's fine if you guys like things.
We'll add our
really
we'll add your technological and cultural distinctiveness to our own even.
Let's hope. Through our differences, we attain learning, or some such nonsense.
Okay, so their task now is to get the Borg out of warp drive because they can't. The weapon they've made with the deflector requires the warp engine power, so they can't use that while they're in warp, obviously. So, I suppose it's the supposition later that we find out. We find this out later when Riker says if they can't get the Borg out of warp, the weapon is useless, to confirm that idea. And Shelby's given the bridge, but doesn't appreciate not being a part of the way team due to her extensive Borg knowledge. And it is Troy, once again, doing her job, reminding Riker, hey, you're captain now. You're acting captain. Shelby is effectively your XO, and she should lead your away team.
Yeah. And it's beautiful because it's something that was established in the first episode, is that I wanted you to be my first officer because you would place the importance of the ship above yourself.
Oh,
and
Captain,
that is exactly what Shelby is doing here.
Yeah. Riker's not thrilled with it, but he understands and goes, he acquiesces because he understands that that's what it takes. This is no longer the Wild West days of Captain Kirk running down to every away mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I want a Scotty R37. We're in Act 5 now. So we need Scotty R37 to give us the first officer's log. So what you made your avatar for?
What? No, I'm still Riker.
Yeah. Could you read could you read the first officer's
log?
First
officer's log, stardate 43998.5. Our pursuit of the Borg continues on a course that will take us to the very core of the Federation. The devastation they could bring is beyond imagination. I didn't do that like Riker, but I enjoyed what I did.
I enjoyed what you did too. And so they're
right.
Yeah, the away team's getting ready to go. And so they say that, the phasers are only going to work once or twice, and Dr. Crusher's on this wave team for some reason.
Well, they're going to rescue Captain Picard, who was injected with something just before he was taken off the bridge. So I would take a doctor.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, actually.
And also, Beverly has never missed with her phaser up until this point, ever.
Good point.
Oh, yeah. And that's true. She does use her phaser in this episode. And it's good
By
to
the
see
way,
her.
it is also
good to see her in action.
Like, I'm sorry, I am absolutely geeking out about everything in this episode, and I just want to say, seeing Shelby and Crusher put on, holster their phasers, one of the hottest things I have ever seen recently. I love chicks with guns. It's like the beginning of Jackie Brown.
Yeah, and they look good with them, definitely. And in about an hour, they're going to have to stop pursuing the Borg because they just won't be able to anymore. Because it's taxing their systems. And so on the Borg ship, they find a waveguide conduit that they figure lets the Borg work as a team. And Beverly has this idea. I think I got a clip.
Oh, yeah.
What if we look at this from the mosquito's point of view?
Brilliant.
Attack where it hurts. Attack where it hurts most. Yeah. Even if you can't take them all out, it might distract them, and that's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Make them stop long enough to scratch.
It's like attacking a giant. There you go. It works. And so I'll tell you how Dr. Crusher was included on the away team. Let's see. Do I have a quote here?
Oh.
No, I don't have a clue.
Leave it to a Howard
but
woman to figure out how to scratch that itch.
Well, Gates
Yeah.
McFadden wanted to use her phaser, and so Michael Piller was like, "Sure, you can use your phaser," and so he put her in the team, and it works out perfectly.
Well, and also, like, come on, like, if you watch the original series, the Doctor is always on the away team.
He's dead, Jim.
And that does obviously make sense, especially with the crew, Picard. I guess you could call him wounded. He's been surgically modified, and his DNA has been screwed. So
He's at least been drugged. This is an away team to rescue the captain. Yes.
Also, he's lucky they didn't cut off any limbs, because that's some of the things that the Borg might do. Sometimes.
Yeah, but that's not until first contact. We don't see that until first contact.
Okay, fair enough. It's hard not to project everything we already know.
Yeah, but that was one of the rules. You told me I shouldn't forwardly project. It has to be historically accurate to this episode.
Yeah, and that makes sense. So I shouldn't worry about
No, but comment on it. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm being a stickler.
No, you're right. If it hasn't happened yet, we don't have to mention it. So.
Did you want to talk about Agnes again? Oh no, we used another Agnes.
Oh no! What happens?
He's dead. He's dead, Jim. Bones. You haven't even transported down. I'm just telling you, he's gonna be dead.
We're finally getting to Wolf 359, so we're going to be in the vicinity of Cisco, even though we don't actually see him. We're not there yet.
No, but I wonder what the Saratoga was doing.
They were in dry dock, and they were...
No. It was a Miranda-class vessel. It must have been doing, I don't know, gaseous anomalies or something.
Well... I don't know.
I don't know what, I don't know where any of these ships came from for Wolf 359. Anyway, we found clothes.
Yes, that's right. They're able to locate Picard's communicator and his uniforms in the drawer, so that means the Borg stripped Picard naked.
That also means the entire collective of the Borg knows what Jean-Luc Picard looks like naked.
Yes, that's right.
And then Picard hit the communicator for the door, and he walked in. Did anybody call for a captain? Boom, 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 boom. And he goes into his little stripper routine. Sorry.
Oh, no, he does the little dance from Star Trek Nemesis. Or no, Insurrection. When he does the Latin dance.
Oh, the Insurrection dance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a
computer, the Mumbo.
Exactly. I'm glad everyone knows the dance.
Well, and they also have to evacuate a bunch of people, and Troy offers to help evacuate. So there she is, being helpful again. Isn't that fun?
Yes. Oh, also, they do, I don't know if this was brought up in my missing 18 minutes, but Barclay is not seen, but referenced.
He does get a mention. I don't know if I've made it there yet. I don't think I've mentioned him yet.
Is that in part 2? Maybe it's in part 2.
I don't know. Let me see. I've got it.
No, you don't have to worry about it. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. I don't think we've gotten there yet. And so they're gonna keep fighting. They're gonna make more mosquito bites because the Borg have not yet developed the equivalent of DEET for Starfleet officers.
Well, and that's also if you can go back one just for a technical nerd. I love how the phasers, this is a Starfleet phaser, and it's cycling through blue and orange, which also is a very popular movie poster color combination. But this is amazing because it visually shows you that they are cycling through. They're doing what they established that they were going to do in the previous scene. They are visually doing it now. So as an audience, the continuity keeps up. And if you notice it, you feel special. If you don't, it doesn't matter. It just looks cool. This is like, I love this so much.
It looks great, and it achieves the effect we want. The Borg drop out of work to deal with their itches.
And it's worth noting that phasers, that at this point the phasers were still kind of an expensive effect to do.
Oh yeah.
So
phasers and transporters are things that you do not want to write into your Star Trek: The Next Generation spec script.
So,
and it's so expensive, that's why we don't get the battle later.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah. No, we'll get there. Well, we never see Wolf 359 until a year ago, which was on JTF VFX.
Yes.
I love Geordi's cubicle.
Yeah. So they finally have to. They do finally have to shoot the Borg. You use up those phase variants
until our rescue mission turns into a boss fight.
Right, and Picard is protected.
Well, can I say it?
Go ahead.
He is a Borg. This is all
Borg.
He is a Borg.
He is a Borg.
I hate that line reading, Dorn. Anyway, no, but this is that. Can you send me this image? Because I want to make that my Tinder profile picture.
I can send you that image, and also that was just a laser pointer that
yes,
that somebody found. I forget who.
What was it? Mike. Yeah. Oh no, it makes sense. It totally makes sense. Come on.
It's Michael Westmore.
Okay, nice.
Michael Westmore's son found this little laser.
Cats across the set. Spot was disoriented. But okay, so a friend of mine, Terrier, the guy who made my Riker profile picture, he got a Locutus hot toy or something. And he was like, I'm so proud of this. But it was from Best of Both Worlds Part 2. And I was like, everybody knows Locutus was better looking in Best of Both Worlds Part 1. So I'm just asking, can you make a poll? Which Locutus do you like better? Best of Both Worlds Part 1, where he's wearing spandex? Or do you like Best of Both Worlds Part 2, where he's fully engulfed in mechanical Borgness?
Okay, yeah, sure. Why not?
Well, I'm just curious. I'm just curious because I love it.
All right.
If you were to buy an action figure, which one would you like? Best of Both Worlds Part 1 right here, where he's basically wearing his season 1 jumpsuit, but it's black. He's like Black Superman. And I mean black suit Superman. I'm not talking about the movie Hancock.
Okay, I'm making the poll right now.
Okay, I know. I'm trying to vamp for you. Anybody else want to talk for a sec? There we are. Thank you so much.
Bing, ding, 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 ding.
Since I got back, I didn't know where the star was, so I don't know how to play with the chat. I don't want to miss anybody.
I actually like the laser pointer and
I'm finishing the episode before I get back to the chat, but if you get back to it before I do, then
I don't know.
Back to
You
it
didn't
with you.
star anything.
let's go.
Well, yes, I did. I started something.
Okay, where is it? Oh, filth is filth.
Still.
Thank you so much.
Scotty and the amazing Technicolor laser pointer.
Yeah, well, see, you know what I thought about being this Picard? Because it's easy Picard. All you got to do is go buy a 386, bust it on the curb, and then paste it to your black jumpsuit. But the thing was, the biggest problem that I thought of was that I would have to have the laser pointer. And the thing is that aren't they dangerous if you look someone in the eye with a laser pointer?
Yeah, you'd kind of
You're
have
not
to.
supposed to.
You'd have to point it. Well, what? Just point it downwards.
Well, no, but because I'm in costume and I'm trying to look badass.
Well, then why don't you just get a red LED?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Oh, you read my mind. An LED would work perfectly. Just a really bright red LED. And then nobody has to be blinded.
With science.
Oh, okay. I don't want to get into episode 2 yet, but we made it to episode 2. So possibly
We did.
I might be okay.
This is when the Enterprise uses its Iron Man chest expulsion.
But I'm not quite there yet. So
all right.
Let's roll back.
We can go back.
Do that.
This is where the Enterprise fires cats.
Yes, hello to the kitty. Picard is Locutus. So the Borg gave him his own individual name. So weird among a collective, right? To name people.
Yeah.
Did I what?
Did you get the Mr. Warfire? Did you get the clip for Mr. Warfire?
I did not. I forgot.
You
I
forgot.
could get it now.
You forgot one of the greatest cliffhanger clips of all time. You sloppy bitch.
I can get it now, but you take that back.
I do take that back. You know that I mean it in jest.
I know.
No, but come on. Like, you mentioned it in the intro. This is one of the most iconic cliffhangers of all time.
All right. I'm getting
Who
it
shot Mr. Burns? It was Commander Riker of the USS Enterprise NCC 170.
He tried to anyway. He tried.
Yes, he did. He tried.
But Locutus, that pesky Locutus.
Oh, he knows.
Meddling.
He's a foul one, that Mr. Grinch.
Okay. So
Max Redstone says in the chat, and I will be Worf. He will be Riker. Sir, we are being hailed by the Borg.
On screen.
Jill, you be Picard. Can you? Well, Locutus, really. Is Jill not paying attention? Okay, it's up to you.
Am I supposed to be reading?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where?
Okay, so in the private chat, I'm Worf.
In the second block of text.
Okay, got it. Okay, who am I?
Locutus.
You're Picard.
Okay.
So I'll start. I'll be Worf. Sir, we are being hailed by the Borg.
On screen.
I am Locutus of Borg. Resistance is futile. Your life, as it has been, is over. From this time forward, you will service us.
Mr. Worf. Fire. Dun, 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 dun. Ba, ba, ba.
Mr. Worf. Fire.
Ba 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 da ba 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 da.
You know, there's nothing like a line reading to buy time. That's great.
Except for when the person,
whatever. It's live television. Franco Walker gets it. He's happy.
Dan Lucky says, and great to see you, Dan Lucky. I've always thought it was cool that Michael Westner's son programmed the laser pointer part of Locutus' costume to spell out Morse code.
Oh, I didn't know.
Huh.
That is
what do you want me to do? Put on a blue Care Bear onesie and sing songs? Because I can put on a blue Care Bear onesie and sing songs.
Oh, Lemon Pie, you're not wrong. I believe that just became my new notification tone. Maybe even ringtone. Every time my phone rings, it's going to be Jill as Locutus.
Well, and what happens is
I think you should clip that and make it members only.
Riker cares about Captain Picard, but Picard is now Locutus. He's now on his way to destroy Earth, so that is why there's no other choice but to fire.
Yes.
And we're ready for the next episode.
Also, hang on, before we get to the next episode, and I want to talk about the actual cultural impact of that cliffhanger, in that everyone was like, I'm not, why am I so shy about swearing in these moments? But everyone was like, what the actual fuck? What's going on? Is Captain Picard dead? Did Riker just kill him? But not him. But and you had to wait 2.5 months, 3 months?
Yep.
To find out what happened. So I appreciate all you youngins who sat there and Jill, you are one of these people that I despise, is that you watched this on a replay. You watched this and you watched this cliffhanger, and then you watched the resolution
instantly
right after. I had to wait months to find out what happened. So there is a difference in terms of your absorption of this episode.
Yes. And even when Claudia was reviewing it, I might have been, I'm not sure if I'm the one who insisted on doing the 2-parter at once. I didn't want to separate it. I wanted to experience the whole thing.
Oh, it's perfect together, though. It's perfect.
That is perfect together.
So happy together.
Eventually, he dropped that, and he was like, "No, we're just going to do like the 2 parts separately." And so that was a good executive decision. But I wanted to experience it the way I did experience it. And
there are people in the chat currently who saw it in the theater as a cinematic experience. I have lamented the fact that I haven't been able to see it in a cinematic experience. So I love seeing this back to back. I
am kind of, you despise me for seeing it back to back, but I am kind of jealous that you got to see it the first time. I
Can
wish
you
I could
imagine the
Star Trek for the first time. Patient.
There it is. Same deal. That is exactly the same deal. And that's part of the reason why I love this episode so much. It was like, this was a moment in Star Trek history where I watched this episode, and it was saying, so do you want to like this show? And it's like they had blown all of the doors off. Everything was amazing. They had culminated not only from they had graduated from original series references, which they really used rarely, but they were referencing the season before and the Borg, and like everything was going, and it was like, and this was the episode, as I remember it, that said, do you like Star Trek The Next Generation? We hope you tune in for the resolution to this cliffhanger. And everyone said,
and speaking of a cliffhanger, Dan Leckie has a unique opinion that it was kind of lame for him, which is a fair opinion. I think it was pretty incredible, but
I always thought that Waylon Smithers shot Mr. Burns because of the
I
WS,
so
but then it was Maggie Simpson, and it was kind of lame.
Well, you don't take candy from a baby, but
I do it all the time. It's fine. It's easy.
It is easy. But speaking of cliffhangers, I have to go change out my headphones. I will be right back. Or I can get an audio cable. I will return.
I think
Are
it
you
well
there?
established the badassery of Maggie Simpson.
She is pretty badass. Yeah. I shouldn't knock Maggie Simpson. She might shoot me.
I will return in just a minute.
But I do like how that episode like gave everyone like a reason to shoot Mr. Burns.
Yar. Once, when I was traveling around the Arctic Circle. Shut up, you! That's my
Including
favorite
Tito
part of
Puente.
that entire episode.
Including Tito Puente.
Yes. You stole the school from Tito.
The Burns Slant Drilling Company.
Penny. Feed your grandbaby.
Feed your grandbaby before Mr. Burns steals the food.
But that's the thing, and I wanted to say something. I don't know if it's appropriate, but I think it is because it's about family. And like I do love hanging out with everyone. I think it's a great thing. All I've ever wanted to do was get together with a bunch of people and talk about Star Trek. And I appreciate those who do. And so thank you so much, Penny, for being here. I did want to give a shout out to Anonymous. Anonymous recently lost his mother. She just passed away. And if you are a friend of Anonymous, he is a friend of the channel. I don't know if Anonymous is a boy or a girl. But I don't know the pain of losing a parent. And whenever I hear the stories of people losing parents, it hurts me because I'm like, oh, that's gonna suck. So I just want to say that Anonymous, my wishes, hopes, prayers are with you. And that's all I wanted to say.
Well, I do. And it's
you do
not know what it's like to lose a parent.
Oh no. How is it? Great.
Scotty.
I know, I'm sorry. It was just a knee-jerk reaction. I'm a dick.
No, it is not great. It is the opposite of great. I mean, no. It is not great. I miss my father every single day. You know, like yeah. Even though it's been like 11 years, it's I miss him every single day.
Yeah. Lost my father last year and my mother the year before.
Oh no.
You know, I mean, I have to duck out at noon because I have to help my mom with a technical issue. So
it's like what, 26 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
and again, I don't mean to diminish your I can
appreciate knee-jerk reactions, Scotty.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Mendoza, I am coming to get you now.
Why do I have to rent it? I just saw the best part.
Wow. Look at this, 14 votes in your poll already, Scotty.
I haven't even seen the poll. I'm going to wait until the results are in. I don't know how long the poll
Okay,
is
I've
going.
Returned. Thank you guys for filling in for me.
You should go back and listen to that. That was pretty sad. But Jill,
sad?
Anonymous. Anonymous's mom is free in the same way that McCoy's father is.
Oh, right. You did tell me that you might mention that, and I said that is okay to mention.
And, well, no. Max and Wes Cagle kept me in line. They kept me in line. I was happy to be here, and I think we did I think we did okay.
I am. Yeah, I have to go help my mom in the next room at noon. So just to let you know.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm gonna try to. I will only have noon. Will be that's in 25 minutes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Great. That's
you know what we could do.
Good. You're helping your mother. That's important.
Technical issue.
I don't
Jill.
plan to go longer than 20 minutes past 2.
Okay.
Oh, Jill, you know what we could do right now?
It's my time anyway.
No, I know, but you know what we could do right now?
Noon your time.
Based on the slide?
What?
We could stop. We could make this a cliffhanger.
Oh, shit. We could.
Do
that.
No one would expect that. I know this is show notes live, but I'm just saying no one would expect that we would stop in the middle.
Just like
we can do
Spanish
it.
Inquisition.
It would be the best, and I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's your channel,
Because I
it's your
don't
show,
want to,
lady.
but it's true. I don't want to rush through these episodes either, and it feels so good to be able to explore them with the depth that they deserve. But also, but that's also fighting with my desire to be completionist. I want to do the evolution.
You enjoy
favorite dinos here.
We've known each other for a while, and I do understand that you enjoy a climax.
And Franco Walker. Oh my God!
I know that's what you say every time you climax.
No comment.
Come on, it's funny.
You know what? Maybe we should end it.
Well, it also gives us time to reflect and look over the what's going on.
It's been a while.
But then will we have the same? Will we have the same cast? Will we have the same panelists?
We met.
Well, that's the question.
We met at Wolf 3.
You're
5 died.
You're throwing everything asunder, and for what?
Well, maybe you should crawl under your bed if you can't take a little bloody nose.
It's dangerous out there. It's not safe.
You can see.
No, I want to do it.
Okay, that's fine. I'm in. I'm still here.
Oh,
That's the problem.
Her whole shore.
You know you want to do it.
No,
Let's
he
go.
does not. He does not own me, James Caserta. I don't know what you're talking about. James Caserta has this notion that I can't, like, I do a show on Tuesday and Scotty isn't even there. And
You know, I quote the song. I quote the song "Sandwiches" from the. Gosh, I forget it's from it. Anyway, the lyrics are, "You know you want to do it. You know I want to do it too."
Mhm.
And no,
And
it's actually quite the reverse, James. Jill owns me. Jill is the one that keeps me somewhat respectable. So, no, I am in. May I simp for a moment?
no, you may not.
artist,
It's fine.
the artists are
Dan
the
Leckie.
Detroit Grand Poobahs. I just remembered.
I don't like that word. It's insinuating that I'm offering something that I'm not. But Dan Leckie says the Borg was originally developed from parasite creatures in conspiracy, which is true.
Let's just say that Jill is my Borg queen.
You know
And I'm a Locutus.
You know I want to do it. I know you want to do it too.
Everyone's going to clip that, aren't they?
Yeah, probably.
Actually, no one cares about me that much.
I don't care that much.
Well,
I know, right? I'm not that important.
You know, we are burning time here.
We are. I'm going to go have a smoke. You guys can talk for a bit. Start this up.
Already clipped, says Franco.
Already clipped. I saw.
Well, I have 40 minutes to talk about part 2, and I don't think that's unreasonable because we've got 16 minutes of slides, 40 minutes. We just have to go through, 2 minutes.
I think if you limit the time that Riker is morose about the Melbourne, you're going to be good.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I can do this. I don't want to split it. I don't want to.
We just have to stay focused. That's all.
Exactly. So I better get started. The part 2. So everybody had to wait from June in the summer all the way to September 24th, 1990. The episode was again written by Michael Piller. He didn't know if he was coming back, but it turns out he did, and he went on to do lots of great things for Star Trek afterwards. And the direction continued to be by Cliff Boyle. And like Scotty was mentioning, lots of anticipation. And yeah, Scotty, mind your manners. Yeah, I would hope so, but I think we can do this. If we didn't spend like 10 minutes talking about not doing it, it would have been even better. So definitely we're at the teaser for, they did their whole last time on the Next Generation, so they did that whole bit, but we just talked about the whole episode, so we can skip that part and go straight into the main deflector dish about to be discharged. It doesn't work. It's worthless, and Shelby can't believe it, but Riker kind of knows what's happening here. It's because, and Picard confirms it, the knowledge and experience of the human Picard is part of us now. It has prepared us for all possible courses of action. Your resistance is hopeless, number 1. And that's, I think I love every time that Locutus calls Riker number 1. That is extra creepy.
Your resistance is hopeless, number 1.
Oh, I don't have that, but we said it, so our reading is good.
It's almost as if it's a mocking.
I think so. Yeah, that's right. It is kind of, well, but is it a mocking, or is it the bit of humanity that is still in Picard that Picard can't stop calling Riker number 1?
True.
Even though he's been assimilated and is not in control of anything he's doing. Yeah. But there's still a part of him that lives. It's a major theme in Stargate, is where when somebody's taken over by a Goa'uld, is that some of the host survives. And that is absolutely true, as we find out in this one. And we have our first log here, our first officer's log. Wes Cagle, could you read this one for me? I'm putting it right here.
Sure. First officer's log, stardate 44001.4. The Borg ship has returned to its course towards Earth. We are unable to pursue pending repairs to the Enterprise.
So, of course, as we said, the deflector dish idea didn't work because Locutus told the Borg about all of their plans and strategies and how this whole deflector dish thing was going to work. So they were able to adapt their ship to deal with that eventuality. And we've got Cole Meany again, of course. That's great. More Guinan. Guinan has I like Guinan's scene better in this episode.
I think there's one little thing where Hansen puts Shelby into line that I dropped into the chat.
Oh. Yeah, yes, I love that line.
Yes.
Where, Shelby says, "You realize, Admiral, with the assistance of Captain Picard, the Borg will be prepared for your defenses. Lieutenant, a few years ago, I watched a freshman cadet pass 4 upperclassmen on the last hill of the 40-kilometer run on Daniela 2. Damnedest thing I ever saw. The only freshman to ever win the Academy Marathon. I made it my business to get to know that young fellow. I got to know him very, very well, and I'll tell you something. I never met anyone with more drive, determination, more courage than Jean-Luc Picard. There is no way in hell that he would ever assist the Borg. I want that clear. Of course, Admiral."
Yes.
So I can't do it to credit George Murdoch, but that was just that little line.
Oh, I thought I had that one. I thought I got that clip, but now I guess I didn't.
Anyway,
No, I know I have it. Where is it? I want to find it because I like it, and I thought I had it.
Yeah, it's a good speech.
No way.
It's a good little diatribe there.
Here it is. Here it is. It didn't get uploaded.
Okay.
And there is no way in hell that he would assist the Borg.
And of course, the Borg get away. The Enterprise is crippled from their attempt, and of course, naturally, the main navigational deflector is destroyed. And so, but they can fix everything up in 12 hours. But that'll be too late to make it to Wolf 359. But they will be there, even if they're late. And then we also find out the Klingons are going to be there, and maybe even they might call up some Romulans, but so that's something. I wonder if that was integrated into that fan film you were talking about. Probably was.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, that line is good. It shows the absolute desperation that they're facing at that time.
Yes, and how the whole quadrant realizes the threat that is not ordinary. It's something that's going to be harmful to them too, and so they do come together for that. And thank you for reading that line. Okay, so this is also where Hansen promotes Riker to captain. A field commission, or
yes,
like that.
Yes.
But then later on, he goes back to being commander again. So I guess maybe it was just temporary promotion. I'm not sure exactly what was going on there.
It's a field promotion.
All right.
Usually field promotions are permanent, but this is Hollywood.
And permanent, pending on it, becoming official. They usually stay.
Well, usually Nog gets promoted because it's wartime, and his promotion stayed.
Yeah, nothing like war to facilitate promotions. That's for sure.
Right. But also, the whole point of that scene that Max Redstone read was to say that Picard is gone. This is just Locutus. He's just a Borg, and we've got to destroy that Borg cube. Yeah. But the thing is, he's still in there, and we see that contradicted in the very next scene, which is a very famous tier scene of Picard. He's getting a prosthetic arm, and his skin is changing colors. And while this is happening, we get that single tear that rolls down his eye, which we'll get to in just a bit. Stardates were originally meaningless. Yeah, they were. They were originally meaningless. Yeah, I absolutely agreed. Can you get the feel? Can you feel the darkness creeping in? Hang on, I have a question. Isn't Picard set in the vineyard? I thought it was destroyed in Generation. Oh. I guess they rebuilt it or something. I don't know.
There was a fire, and
there was a fire.
Renee and Robert were killed
off screen, just so Picard can have.
They didn't say.
Just so Patrick Stewart could have a crying role or a dramatic role to try to win an award.
Just because there was a fire doesn't mean the vineyard itself burned. Yeah.
Maybe he took Renee to a. Maybe he took Renee to a replicator plant, ironically. Anyway.
Yeah, he's Locutus.
Yes, he is.
And he's Locutus of Borg. Resistance is futile. And so let's see here. Jill's awesome and has a heart of gold. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Do the Evolution. Appreciate that. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Speaking of generations, I'm working on a mock-up cover. Oh, wow. Overture, since this Monday marks 3 decades since the movie debuted in cinemas. I didn't even think about that.
Wow.
So, meanwhile, Crusher's coming. Crusher, and by Crusher I mean Wesley, once again being useful, coming up with an idea to automatically change the frequencies of the phasers instead of having Data do it manually each time. So off screen, Wesley is being useful again.
You mean for once?
Yes, for once. This is a 2-parter. I'm just shocked that how well written all the characters are.
Oh, there's Barclay's reference.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Barclay. Barclay gets
Sherborne and
some
Barclay are running through the final testing sequence.
Yeah, Riker also suggests they need to come up with a way to neutralize the Borg force fields. And then, of course, it's presumed the Borg have all of Picard's knowledge. And Worf says that the Borg have no honor. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Just play that one. I have it here somewhere.
The Borg have neither honor nor courage.
And yeah, so Captain Riker. Captain Riker. We get to call him Captain Riker for this episode.
He's got the 4 pips now.
Mm-hmm. And so there's lots of power issues and navigation, and the deflector is good now. Everything's getting fixed very quickly. Barclay's name is dropped, and they're testing the deflector, working on the warp reactor core, and they're just fixing. They just need a couple hours. Everything is running smoothly. I love that there's not too much of a gap between. The action rolls. It doesn't stop. I mean, not action, but story beats don't linger. And Wolf 359 has begun, and the Enterprise is going to be late. Everyone is retreating. And finally, the ship is ready to head to battle, but they can't contact the fleet. I have to mute for just a second here. To like each other, to work well together. Some might define that as the role of the first officer. Oh, wait. Okay, I didn't. That's not the whole quote. Let's see the whole quote. The whole quote is good. We don't have to like each other. Where is that? Okay, and then he says, we don't have to like each other.
Should I?
Matter of fact, I'd like you to continue to keep me on my toes.
Should I put in the next captain's log?
Sure, if you have it. I have them in here, but but some might define that as the role of the first officer, to keep the captain on his toes. And Riker says, "Damn, you're ambitious, aren't you?" And Shelby says, "Captain Riker, based on our past relationship, there's no reason for me to expect to become your first officer, except you need me. I know how to get things done, and I have expertise in the Borg. And you have a lot to learn, Commander." "Yes, sir. Almost as much as I had to learn when I came aboard as Captain Picard's first officer. In fact, he reminded me of when I commented on what a pain in the neck you are." So he finally says that. I'm sure a lot of people watching agreed. Wolf 359 has begun, and there we go.
Well, now that I'm back, can
Wolf 359 has
Jennifer?
begun. Go ahead. Do you know where it is?
No, I don't know where it is. I don't know where.
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay. Do I know where it is?
That's a good question.
I didn't see it. I didn't upload it, did I?
What? It was the only clip I wanted, except for the scroll.
Well, I have
my favorite. All of my favorite things from Best of Both Worlds are from Deep Space Nine.
Here it is. I just have to upload it. Hold on just a second.
All right. I'm sorry
It's
for
processing.
Locutus!
So she was on a Reliant class starship then.
Miranda class, actually.
Okay.
The most
common
overused
misconception.
The most overused starship in the fleet.
Yeah, but whenever you see an Oberth, I hate the Oberth. It's so fugly.
Okay, so Max Redstone, could you read the next captain's log? On Act 2.
Captain's log, stardate 44002.3. Repairs are complete. The Enterprise is warping to rendezvous with Starfleet at Wolf 359. Communications from the site of the battle have been cut off, possibly by Borg interference.
Right, and then the fight's not going well.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
It is. Well, that's exactly what the Admiral says.
Yes.
And so Worf is security, but he's switched to tactical for the fight, and that makes sense. And I'm glad.
Well, but again, like I've said this 1,000 times, probably in this stream, I love it when I see people doing their jobs, and Riker is like, Worf, you would be an amazing first officer. Unfortunately, you are a better tactical officer. I have worked in restaurants where I was a really good cook, and I was like, can I be a bartender? And they were like, you're too good a cook. And I was like, oh. And so this resonates in terms of professionalism. It's like, yeah, no, Worf, you would be great. But
they also
you're better at that.
They also mentioned that Data would have was also considered for first officer.
Yeah.
But
but he has no ego to bruise.
Worf,
yeah,
Worf, you would be a great first officer. Unfortunately, the writers do you kind of dirty.
Yeah,
they do. Well, everybody's seen that compilation of clips where Worf says something and someone's like, no, and why? Why they're telling Worf no?
Well, it's because he's a terrible father.
Well, no, well, that's a whole different stream. Let's do a stream on, on Worf's parentage, because he's such a wonderful character, and then there's that. Yeah. So, but of course, Shelby becomes first officer, and she asks about the heavy graviton beam, and nope, that's not going to be helpful. But I love how they're thinking through the problem, trying to figure something out. They even consider using nanites, which is a theme that actually comes up later with regard to the Borg on multiple occasions.
Can I mention something just about this? Is that now that Shelby is Riker's first officer, usually Riker sits down and Picard is the one who stands. Or like Riker has a sort of, I don't want to say domineering, but it's the best word for the situation. He is sort of exerting his authority in this crisis, which I guess you would.
Needs to.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea.
And
could you read?
Anyway, I'm just exploring. I'm not making.
No. You're what you're doing is perfect character analysis, and I enjoy it. But can you read this from Riker in the private chat?
Yes, and I'm sure Captain Picard would have. I'm sure Captain Picard would have something meaningful and inspirational to say right now. To tell you the truth, I wish he were here, because I'd like to hear it too. I know how difficult this transition has been for all of you. I can take over for him, but I can never replace Captain Picard, nor would I ever try. Oh my God! And then the hottest woman in the world.
I don't know. She just
sorry,
seems
I'm
like
just responding to Shelby. I'm sorry. I have a crush on Shelby.
She just looks like she's just a smarter version of Kes.
Yeah? And what's wrong with that?
Well, Kes is the worst Voyager character ever.
Yeah, but you said better.
Kes would be all right if she never spoke.
Well,
this is a good scene.
Never
this
Google free use. Moving on.
Thank you,
I
Scotty.
agree that Shelby's anything like Cass, but that is I do respect.
They're
your
both
opinion on that.
blonde. They're both attractive.
Is that the reason? Is that...
That's the only reason.
Okay, so it's kind of funny. Riker is trying to channel Picard. He says to the empty chair because he doesn't see the empty chair as him. What would you do?
Jill, are we going to do this? Did you get the script?
I did. Guinan's used to being able to talk to the captain a lot, and so so I guess I could describe what we're about to see, or we can read it. So
I want to read it.
You just
thought you wanted to read it.
Read it, you wild bitch.
Hey,
hey!
I'm quoting the movie. I'm quoting a movie. Yes.
All right.
You guys didn't get the reference.
That's cool.
No reference.
I'm not. You know what? I'm not one to like
Blazing Saddles. Nobody.
Decorum.
Nobody. Blazing Saddles. Okay, never mind.
Well, and you did that. You did that very thing earlier, Scotty. So
I did.
You're bad influence.
I am very bad. I'm excited. I'm full of beans. I love this episode.
I do too. And
I want to celebrate it like it's a party. Because it is.
Okay. And I'm putting all, because it takes a minute to put all the stuff in the private chat.
Let me know when you're ready. I'm going to go back to the chat for a sec. And say hello to...
The sheriff is a... Ding. No! The sheriff
blazing...
Ding.
Blazing Saddles fans. Come on. Dan Leckie says, Cass is awesome. Well, if you know what, they made the Playmate. Was it Playmates that made the action figures? Like the Star Trek The Next Generation action figures. They made the Deep Space Nine action figures. They made the Voyager action figures. What I would say,
all right,
if you are a fan of Anti-Derivative Jill, you should buy her as many Kess action figures.
Oh, don't buy me any Kess action figures. Actually, this is a very bad idea.
Scotty, that's over the line.
Okay, so buy her some B'Elanna Torres.
All those, you know, all those inappropriate sexual jokes you're making earlier. This is worse than those.
This is worse than those.
Scotty, that's over the line. I will find you. I will cross the 10-foot. I will cross the 10-foot gap in the forest and come to Canada and find you.
Over the line. You know what? You're right. You guys, I'm sorry.
I got the quotes in the chat if you're ready to go.
Okay, I am ready to go. We started the empty chair. Do we start at the empty chair? Jill?
Oh, I have to do that? Oh, hold on.
Well, you're Guinan. I'm Riker.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to sync up the slides with...
You don't have to sync up the slides. Just show everybody some Whoopi Goldberg. Everyone loves Whoopi Goldberg.
Loved.
Ish.
Oh. I didn't get that part because... Oh, where is
Scotty, start... What would you do?
Yeah, to the empty chair. Yes.
Dude.
What would you
at least
do?
Get it to...
Do.
Come.
May I speak to you, Captain?
Actually, Guinan,
You know, Picard and I used to talk every now and then when one of us needed to. I guess I'm just used to having the captain's ear.
What's on your mind?
I've heard a lot of people talking down in 10 Ford. They expect to be dead in the next day or so. They trust you. They like you. But they don't believe anyone can save them.
I'm not sure anyone can.
when a man's convinced he's going to die tomorrow, he'll probably find a way to make it happen. The only one who can turn it around is you.
I'll do the best I can.
You're going to have to do something you don't want to do. You're going to have to let go of Picard.
Maybe you haven't heard. I tried to kill him yesterday.
You tried to kill whatever that is on the Borg ship, not Picard. Picard is still here, with us in this room. If he had died, it would be easier. But he didn't. They took him from us, one piece at a time. Did he ever tell you why we're so close?
No.
Oh. Well, then let me just say our relationship is beyond friendship, beyond family, and I will let him go. And you must do the same. There can only be one captain.
It's not that simple. This was his crew. He wrote the book on this ship.
And the Borg know everything he knows. It's time to throw that book away. You must let him go, Riker. It's the only way to beat him, the only way to save him. And that is now your chair, Captain.
And then I sit down. Great. What a scene.
Yes.
Thanks, Jill. That was so fun.
It's time to throw that book away. There can only be one captain.
There can be only one.
I know a guy who loves Highlander.
There can be only one. Oh, is that where that's from? I haven't seen Highlander. But we're approaching Wolf 359. The ship is ready to go, ready for battle. And unfortunately, they come across all of these beautiful ships, just completely destroyed. All of the, not just the ships, but all the officers, all the families. The Admiral's fleet is gone. We were just talking to him.
There's a Constitution class in that Kit Bash model destruction.
The Tolstoy, the Kyushu, the Melbourne.
Yeah, right? This is the most busted up ships we have ever seen ever in Star Trek.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, and Riker wants to now use Shelby's saucer separation plan. Shelby says, but Picard knows about that plan. And Riker is counting on it. And this is the plan that could have been inspired by the scene we just saw with him talking to Riker. And I love the continuation of that idea. Is you got to throw that book away. What would Picard do? Do what he would, turn that on its head and give him what he wouldn't expect.
And also, like, if you look at it philosophically, in terms of sort of, you look at how you move forward and you want to base what you do on previous success. The thing is that is a copy. If you want to do something new, it has to be completely outside of the box. You have to blow people's minds in a certain respect.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't
and
do
Riker
what
comes
everyone
up with
expects.
Right, and Riker makes his own maneuvers for this battle too.
He wouldn't expect Crusher, Cartano, and Gleason on the battle bridge, that's for sure.
And one of the things he does is he gives Worf and Data a special mission, and then he distracts Locutus so that he can carry out his plan. So that's one of the things, very classic. Get the villain to talk so I can, save the day kind of thing. And
monologuing.
It's done so well. I enjoyed this very much.
Yeah, but that's also part of the
We're
reason
not
why
gonna.
this
We can't
episode
read
sort of
every
falls
scene.
down a bit.
What?
It's
You
also
don't like
because,
the scene?
like, what? Come on, look at that. Look at those special effects. He's got Ferengi ears, but they're wires.
What? No, but I'm just talking about the script. The dialogue is great.
Yeah, no, I'm
You
talking
could
about the
just basically
visuals that
read
are
the whole thing.
amazing. Also, when was the last time we were on the battle bridge?
Picard implicitly trusted you.
Arsenal of Freedom.
Yeah, and that was like 2 seasons ago.
And
It was Encounter Farpoint, Arsenal of Freedom, and
that's
this.
it. This.
well, and I'm sure they had to do some work with that on production side, getting it ready to go.
Yep.
Since we don't do saucer separations every day now.
Only
That's
on special
expensive.
occasions.
They tried to do one on Brothers, but it was aborted.
Oh, right.
Don't you guys appreciate how much happier Miles is when he's single?
Yep.
He seems into it.
Yeah, he is pretty happy.
He doesn't
yeah.
have the weight of Keiko on his shoulders, is what I'm saying.
Giggity.
I agree.
Thanks, man.
The Borg have set things up so that Worf and Data can't transport onto the ship. They knew that would happen. Worf and Data have they have these little transporter armbands, which is going to help them get back to the shuttle and also capture Locutus. So that's the goal. They've been trying to get Picard back and leaving in the shuttle. You don't know, and they don't reveal exactly what Data and Worf are going to do. So that's kind of an exciting part of the episode too. Build up of suspense.
Yes. But also, if you're going to have an away mission where you need the 2 strongest guys from the Enterprise, send Data and Worf.
Yep.
Like, Data is the blocker and Worf is the guy who's going to make the touchdown. Which is evident.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, I'm getting excited. This is so great.
Then take your best shot, Locutus, because we are about to intervene.
Yeah.
Riker.
I know people who don't like Riker, and I'm just like, that 2-3 second clip is enough for me to be like,
That was a very Charlton Heston clip.
Oh, that's a compliment.
Yep.
And Riker is really great in these episodes.
Yes.
Maybe he's not great in every episode, but perfect here.
Well, and and not to jump ahead, but to jump ahead. Remember after?
Well, we need to jump ahead. I don't have a lot of time.
Okay, then I'll shut up.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that Riker doesn't get an episode in the family sort of denouement from this, but also, this is his episode, and also we got a family one because we met his father. Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, and they wrestled or something, or
they ambujitsu
in the Icarus Factor.
Yeah. That's when we
Rid of
find
the-
out that
I got you,
Riker's dad.
Hachi Don Karitsu, that's illegal.
Anyway, so yeah.
Just as you should, Captain.
I love William T. Riker.
yeah. So he's got the saucer section completely ignored by Picard because Locutus believes the saucer separation is to keep everybody safe on the saucer section.
They're firing antimatter from it.
And when that happens, Max, that completely throws off Locutus. He was not expecting that at all. So that is good stuff. And Picard is watching. Well, and I love the special effects fireworks. I love these explosions. They're so good.
These are really great special effects. And you know what? I would say that based on sort of like, again, the Best of Both Worlds Part 1 is better than Best of Both Worlds Part 2, but the special effects at Best of Both Worlds Part 2, pretty good.
Agreed.
Yes, agreed completely. And Worf and Data are leaving in the show. Well, it's taking a lot less time to get through this episode. Part 1 was so dense, but this is all the action. This is everything. We gotta rescue Picard, and we're going to do it. And Data's, Worf and Data leaving the shuttle. They got to get close enough to the Borg cube to use their little armbands to get into the Borg
Their
cube.
little armbands.
They're so cool. No,
Where's Mark D with the C? Buy me a metal or a little armband.
Or 3D printed. And then, of course, they're having trouble because the Borg magnetic field is recognizing the shuttlecraft. So then there's the idea to shut off the power, and they move on their inertia to get there.
And it's great. It is so good. It is Spock from the Galileo 7 good.
Oh, right, with the batteries. We need your phaser. We need your phasers, your phaser batteries, just to get enough steam to orbit the planet. And create that.
I love it when Data and Worf go shoulder to shoulder. I love it when they. Like that image of seeing them walk down a Borg cube passage. Those dudes. They're rad.
And they shoot up the Borg, and they capture Locutus.
They do. And the thing is that Locutus beats the shit out of Worf.
Yeah.
How does Data know where what the off switch is? Just a question.
Oh, that's a good question.
I think he injects.
I thought he had. I thought he had a hypo spray.
Yeah, he injects him with something. I think.
Oh, okay, that explains it. Thank you, Wes.
Okay.
Good question. Good answer. I'm glad I have you guys here. Oh, and so of course they're hoping. Riker's hoping.
Wait.
Okay, go ahead.
Dan Leckie in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that.
I love Neelix. Very cool character.
I'm going to take that as a troll.
No, he's not trolling. He's not trolling.
No, but Dan Leckie is fun. He's awesome. He's just interjecting. I think it's fun. And I would say,
absolutely not trolling.
Dan Leckie, I want to know what is Neelix's Borg name. Because we got Locutus. I remember from the novel Vendetta, written by Peter David. He wrote.
That's a good question too, but I need to.
All right, we got to rush
moving on.
I've got to keep going because I want to finish this, and all I want to say about
I was only trying to be interesting, but I understand.
I know you're trying to be interesting, but
moving on.
You're gonna have to put that in the comment section because I've got to. But I do want to say about Dan Leckie is that he's not trolling. These are his genuine opinions.
Moving on.
Dan Leckie is rad. He's cool.
Moving on.
You asked your question. Like, what are you going to say?
Moving on.
I will answer the question. No. My question was, what would Neelix's Borg name be?
Moving on. It'll be answered in the comments. Thank you very much.
Thank heavens. All right, let's go.
And Riker is hoping Locutus can tell as much about the Borg as Picard revealed to the Borg about the Enterprise. So that's the and the shuttlecraft gets destroyed. I forgot about that part. But
I like this. Okay, sucker of Borg. I'm fine with that.
Moving on.
Of course. Right. No, it's okay to mention the chat now and then, but I just want to say Miles is able to transport Data, Worf, and Locutus just in time, and that's good stuff too. I would. And so.
Hey.
There we go. We've got him. And so the saucers needs to reunite with
They do that off screen. They never really show that.
Yeah, they don't show it. That's true. They don't.
But I do love the battle bridge.
They mention it. They mention that.
That's fine.
His DNA is being rewritten. He has access to everything we need to know about them.
Well, and it also explains later on in First Contact to a certain extent. And it also explains to a certain extent the filth.
So, I could feel something bad coming.
Well, and it's interesting that you say coming. Because apparently there is like nanites in his sperm.
Oh no! See, this is why we don't.
But that's a thing. That's a thing.
And yeah, but it's not a thing in this current episode, though, is it?
No, that's true. That's also true.
So what's happening here is Data discovering using multimodal reflection sorting. That there are subspace signals, so he's figuring out how the Borg communicate with each other through subspace, like a transporter beam. He says, and Riker suggests blocking them, but Data advises that it could kill Picard. So let's not do that.
If it's terminated,
been able to detect a complex series of subspace signals between.
The link to Locutus might be fatal to the captain.
And so the signals are interactive across a subspace domain, similar to a transporter beam. And then he decides perhaps there's a way I can access that machine. And so that's the beginning of Data trying to figure this out. He definitely, I do appreciate Data's role in helping defeat the Borg in this episode. Thank you, and I do appreciate you too for recognizing that, I have a goal and I want to reach it, and I kind of reached the end where I should be ended, but I should have ended this live stream, but there's only 5 minutes of slides left, and I think I can do it. And there's this great scene here where we have him. Oh yeah.
Mission accomplished. We have him.
Signals are interactive across subspace domains.
Yeah, so that's
Perhaps
that.
There is a way I can access the machine, Doctor.
Oh, we do get some moments where we get to experience Picard Borgified as the cutest, interacting with the crew.
Two will be assimilated. The Klingon Empire will never yield. Only wish to raise quality of life for all species.
And so that's definitely an important.
Well, but also, like, when it comes to the Borg, it is an obvious
explanation. Yeah.
Well, no, it's an obvious allegory for communism.
Absolutely, it is.
Oh, I thought you were going to say allegory for Democrats. Same thing.
No. Well, it depends on your jam. But the thing is that autonomy based on the decisions of the collective, which is, like, I'm a big fan of individualism, if you haven't noticed. So, like, I do love, the Borg are communists. They are socialists.
Yes.
And they deprive you of individualism, and they deprive you of personality. And I don't care about woke. I care about individualism. If you want to be woke as an individualist, do it. Please. If you want to be a part of hegemony,
yeah, just don't expect everyone else to agree.
You can go run into brick walls.
So Data has figured out how to connect with Picard, and they're trying this now. And Oh, are we there yet? Let's get back to that laboratory.
We have so little time. You just run through it.
It's fine. We can run through this because we just caught up with. Well, they're not too far away from the Borg, and the Borg are gonna stop. They're gonna get the attention of the Borg soon, because Data. No, it's okay that we're going quick because I think we don't need all that much time. We're at Saturn, and we're gonna make it. So
All
here
right.
we go. Data's figured out how to. I have. Data's figured out how to connect with Picard, and they're trying this now. And I love that we're getting Chief O'Brien as a backup engineer in this situation.
This is a football moment for Miles. He is absolutely. You know what? Miles O'Brien helped the defense of of Earth from the Borg. If you want to know why Miles is on Deep Space Nine, it's because Ben Sisko hates the Borg, and guess what? So does Miles.
Yeah, he does. And it's hints of how important he will be in the future, and of course how he becomes part of Deep Space Nine later.
This is historical focal point.
This was serendipitous for Miles because there's a production reason why this happened. When the film, so this is, I know we're not always supposed to be using memory alpha, but man, it has some good stuff sometimes. And
that's
so
your rule. That's not my rule.
Well, I've been advised, but this is so cool though. When the filming of the episode began, actor LeVar Burton was in hospital for emergency surgery. And so his scenes as LaForge were filmed after the majority of production was concluded. That's why he only appears in close-ups and not in shots with other main performers. Several of his major lines were rewritten for Colm Meaney, which is why Chief O'Brien is one of the main characters.
You are kidding me. I did not know this.
Yeah. I got excited.
Are you saying the reason that Miles O'Brien is an important character in Star Trek is because LeVar Burton was in the hospital?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have never been so happy. I have never been so happy that somebody was in hospital.
I know, but he's okay. He survived, and he's thriving now and doing great things. So
but the thing is that this episode is better because it has O'Brien.
Yeah, and it was great that he got a chance to expand his acting talents and do a little more than he's used to.
He also became one of the cornerstone characters of Star Trek. As important as any of the engineers?
Absolutely. If you have a list of who's your favorite engineer, Miles is on that list.
Yes.
And I love when they say, at which point, O'Brien says, at which point should I shut down if there's a problem? And Data says, I do not know. I have never done this before. Initiating first neural link.
That's so good.
This first neural link, it doesn't work too well. So,
well, and Troy is there, and Troy is
there.
Well, no, but what is her job? Is being empathetic.
Yes,
she needs to recognize emotion.
And she recognizes it as Data is arm wrestling with Picard. She says,
"No, it's not. It's him. It's Picard."
And so, yes, like you said, Troy's emphatic powers are actually useful here. You can tell that Picard's trying to communicate. And it's all good stuff. I'm overjoyed with this episode in almost every way. I struggle to say a thing bad about it because I love it.
Well, no, I wouldn't worry about it because I've had so many orgasms talking about this.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so the Borg might consider Picard a vital limb to their subconscious. And that's something Beverly's saying here. She's coming up with this. So there are so many character moments for everybody. Nobody gets left. They don't. The bridge crew are just such a great team, and it's great to see Michael Piller really come to his own here, figuring this out. Data can implant a thought into the collective, and so that's Riker helping Data figure out the problem.
How about self-destruct or disarm your energy weapons?
But all the critical subcommands are protected, so Data can't get to them to say power down all weapons. And the power systems are also protected. So it seems everything seems hopeless. So Riker's last option is to smash the Enterprise into the Borg to save humanity.
And this is one of the things that I absolutely love is when Riker says to Wesley, ramming speed. And Wesley's look is like, I guess.
And he's like, yeah, you heard me.
Yeah.
That's some good acting.
And it's not
reading. I'm not even kidding.
It's not like telling Worf. It's not like telling Spock. It's not like telling someone who is emotionless. It is Will Riker, born in Alaska, telling the son of Beverly Crusher, being like, okay, so we're going to die. Can you do that? And he looks at Riker and he's like, yeah, I guess.
Prepare for ramming speed.
All critical subcommands are protected, Captain. Then it's over.
Perhaps today is a good day to die.
Mr. Crusher, ready a collision course with the Borg ship. You heard me, a collision course.
And that's something.
Yes, sir.
That's something that every Starfleet officer has to accept, that sometimes self-destruction is the only way to save everyone. And
I don't believe in a no-win scenario.
And this almost happened. But then Picard.
Sleep, Data.
He helped. Picard's helping. He's fought through. Despite Data's attempts to try to break into Locutus's mind, it turns out that Picard is broken through Locutus, and together he's able to tell Data and everyone what to do. Put the Borg to sleep, because that system is not protected. He knows everything about the Borg, as much as
they call it the Cosby maneuver.
And okay, yes. Now that's a good joke, because it's not explicit. You have to know about Cosby.
It's okay. Move on.
Data is getting into the regenerative subcommand path, and so maybe it's a little convenient, but it makes sense. The Borg ship has realized it's malfunctioned, so it's going to destroy itself, and it follows Borg logic perfectly. They did kill the computer with the logic eventually, but it took the entire crew of the Enterprise D to figure that out. So they couldn't just kill it with just one person. Everybody had to play a part.
Yes. And then the Borg cube falls asleep, but the power backup reinstates into itself, and then it blows up over Earth's orbit. Yes?
Yes. It's precisely what happens. And
so what
Piller
is...
says... Go ahead.
Sorry. No. What you were saying. Please, after you.
They're all in. Oh yeah, and Shelby goes in to check that they're in regeneration mode. Let's finish the slides here before I get to what Pillar's talking about. And there was also the question: was this going to hurt Picard being separated from the Borg so quickly? Nope, he's okay.
Well, Okay is a relative term.
Yeah, well, we'll find out exactly how he is in the next episode called Family. And now
You know what? We should actually do Family later.
We should do Family later. I'd do it now.
Member stream. We should do a family member stream.
If I did a family member,
family members.
Right.
No, you don't have enough time.
No, I don't. I don't even have enough time for this.
Well, you said you wanted to talk about the dialogue of this moment.
Mm-hmm. But
do you have
also,
the dialogue?
I do, but first I did want to talk about something. Pillar wanted the Borg to be defeated by ingenuity, and apparently that impressed us, because I was pretty excited about it. We'll see what the chat says in a minute, but I like the solution of going to sleep, and of course it's never going to work again. The Borg are going to know now, unless the Borg can't get the communication out to the rest of the hive that, hey, protect your sleep systems. But the notion is just good. It's good for me, and it works. Pillar finally came up with the answer. And yes, I do just want to. Oh, right. And then there's this.
Oh, my star.
Almost human.
With just a little bit of a headache. That's how he feels.
And
how do you
little
feel?
bit of a headache.
Okay.
So, like mornings?
Your mornings. So how are you guys doing, West Kegel and Max? Is there anything you wanted to add to any of that?
No, I was holding back so we can get through these.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this is probably the best of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Really,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, definitely.
Really, that is, yeah. This really is the best of Star Trek: Next Generation. It really is.
Well, if I may confront,
okay,
using a Dabo,
okay,
like if you were to compare Best of Both Worlds with All Good Things, which one is better?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I know, right?
I actually prefer Chain of Command over all of them, but.
Oh wow, that's a good answer, though. That's
Chain of Command is close, but
you like that for Picard.
I would say Way of the Warrior, but we're talking about Next Generation.
I still prefer. Best of Both Worlds.
Okay.
By a nose.
It's not a bad choice.
So
I'm gonna put a pin in that and come up with an answer later, because we've got.
Oh, you pussy!
Hey, that's not fair.
You can change your answer whenever you want. You can think about it later. No, but what is your knee jerk? What is your knee jerk? What is your favorite two-parter?
I want to.
I'm gonna say you're a knee jerk, Scotty.
Yeah,
I am a knee jerk. I am a knee jerk.
I did want to read the end of this. Best of Both Worlds, man. It's amazing, and I think I need to review All Good Things before I make my decision. I like my decisions to be educated, and so I can't decide right now. So
it's the chicken and the egg, Scotty. The chicken and the egg.
It's a mother and child
There's a lot
reunion.
to read, honestly. There's a lot to read, honestly, because Riker's saying, stand by. Crusher says there's no way to know what the destruction of the Borg ship will do to him. And Data says we should also consider the advantages of further examination of the Borg vessel. I forgot about that. They're like, hey, should we sit here and study this? And that is so Star Trek. No! Riker's like, I don't think so. Data, separate yourself from Captain Picard. Away team, get yourself home. Mr. Crusher, upon their return, move us into a safe position. And yeah, because the Borg cube's about to destroy itself. And Wesley off screen said, "Aye, sir." And this is all in the private chat, by the way. And the Enterprise whizzes away as the cube starts to spark.
Was I supposed to read?
Well, if you want to find where we are, you can read from where I am currently. I'm at Wesley off screen.
This sounds like
and then we have kaboom. So then we have the destruction of the Borg cube.
In special effects that will be reused in Star Trek First Contact.
Amen. Life signs are stable. DNA around the microcircuit fiber implants are returning to normal. And Troy says, "How do you feel?"
No, it wasn't the original. No, it was used in the trailer. It wasn't used in the film.
Oh.
The special effects from Star Trek First Contact, they did not. Hell, every trailer from the Star Trek movies took from the cheap.
Thank you for the correction there. And then how much
Yes.
Riker says, "How much do you remember?" And what does Picard say? Everything.
Oh my stars.
Including...
Which is exactly what makes family so devastating. And oh my god.
Yes, and so Picard is back in uniform. Just a few implants are left on his head.
He's got band-aids. Come on, there are band-aids.
Riker still has 4 pips, so he's still rocking Captain look.
Yes.
And here comes Shelby.
And do you want to read? You want to read this to the end? They're the last 3 things that I put in the private chat.
So, who's Picard? You're Picard.
Yes. Max Redstone should be Picard.
Max is Picard.
You're Scotty's Riker.
No, Jill. You should be Riker. You be Riker.
Okay.
And then I'll be Shelby.
You'll be Shelby?
Yeah.
Wait, is there a thing for Wes Cagle? Maybe Wes Cagle should be Shelby.
I get to be the one that annoys the hell out of me. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. Wes Cagle be Shelby, and
okay, I'll sit out.
No, you're not sitting out. You are. Wait, no. Oh, you're Shelby. Oh,
yeah, Scotty Shelby.
Scotty Shelby.
I'm Shelby.
Max Redstone's Picard.
Yeah.
Wes Cagle, you're Riker. Go.
And Wes Cagle's Riker. Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Picard is back in uniform with just a few implants on the side of his head. Riker still has 4 pips on his collar.
And Earth Station McKinley has advised they're ready to begin refitting the Enterprise.
Have they estimated time for repairs?
5 or 6 weeks.
Come.
Request permission to disembark, sir.
Permission granted. They've picked a fine officer for the task force, Commander.
We'll have the fleet back up in less than a year. I imagine you'll get your choice of any Starfleet command, sir.
Everyone is so concerned about my next job. With all due respect, Commander, sir, my career plans are my own business, and no one else's. But it's nice to know I'll have a few options.
I hope I have the fortune of serving with you again, sir, Captain. And I go away.
Thank God she's gone.
Fuck you.
Number 1.
Oh, course to Station McKinley ready and laid in, sir.
Make it so, number 1.
Picard picks up his key then stiffens and puts the cup down again. He goes to the window and stands looking out.
Na 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 na. Bah,
And-
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kill Davins of all ages. I believe we just finished.
We did, and I want to commend Max and Kegel on their reading of that. I loved. They did it perfectly when they were both when the doorbell rings and they both say "come." That was done. That was amazing. Well done, guys.
I'm gonna use it on a rotation. I just
And,
love. I like clipping people who say "come."
Oh, I knew. I should have known you were going there. I did not mean to set you up for that.
It's a Filthy Friday. Why are you mad at me?
I just don't want it to get worse. So just leave
It's
it there.
not gonna. Come on.
Well, the only reason it won't get worse is because we're at the end of the stream.
Exactly. How worse can it get?
But anyway, Michael Piller says this is a story about Riker and Picard's relationship. It's a rite of passage all men face, the son who must discover his own strength and power, and, in order to do so, must vanquish the father upon whom he depends on and so dearly loves, is what Michael Piller has to say about his own episode. And I want to thank everybody for waiting for me to get to the 164 chats that I have not read in the desire to finish this episode. Thank you to the panel. Thank you to the chat. And let me see where the hell I am in the chat.
Oh, you have a lot of work.
So it's a story about patricide.
Yes. Well, exactly. Who doesn't want to kill their own father?
And speaking of that, DJ Play Nice does put up a crisis hotline for if you're not feeling right and you need to talk to somebody. Thank you, DJ Play Nice, for being here. and he's talking about chicken of man is the Borg designation for Neelix.
Yeah.
So she answered the question.
I thought Bar Rodent, actually. So.
Bar Rodent, that's a good one.
But I think
Yeah,
I'm Scoticus. I'm Scoticus. Scoticus of Borg.
There you go.
James Curtis says Locutus is Patrick Stewart's real name. And oh, that's great. I am the chicken man, says Lemon Pie. Resistance is futile.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine a Borg cube coming up on Earth and be like, I am the chicken man? And it's like, well, I'm scared, but you guys, seriously.
Draw that man in a chicken
You
suit.
need a better name.
Oh, yes. I love Clobby and all of that. And everything. That community that he built was just incredible. And
classic. Yes,
I'm so happy it happened.
Hashtag 734. That's 735.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got to share since we put up a poll. Dan says it's exciting how close the poll is. Which action figure of Locutus would you buy if you had to choose one? And so far, part 1 is winning over part 2.
So the only reason that I request
thank you to the evolution for cheerleading.
The only reason I brought this up is if you have the opportunity and you have the means, if you can send anti-derivative Jill a hot toy or an action figure that is the original, like episode Best of Both Worlds Part 1, if you can send her one of those, I'm sure that she would love an action figure. So do that.
I wouldn't stop anybody from doing that, but the only thing I want to achieve here is reading as much of the chat as I can. And Lemon Pie says I can form a subspace link with Jill, but only when she drinks. He always knows exactly what I'm drinking, almost always. And if you enjoyed this chat today with myself and my friends here, please subscribe and hit the bell, share, hit like, and select live chat. Thank you for reminding me, Franco Walker.
All right, Jill, I have to go. I'm like 50 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm a little late, so.
You're really late. Please
well,
go. Please
my
go
mom's
help
in
your
the
mom.
next room, so. All right, I'll see y'all later.
Yes, go help your mom, and everybody subscribe to Max Redstone's channel.
I'm hopefully gonna restart things January, in January. So.
Okay. Yeah,
right.
so everybody get subscribed to him so you're ready for his return.
Dude, I had a blast hanging out. You were awesome. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
You are incredible. Thank you for staying way longer than you should have.
Okay, I will talk to y'all soon.
Take care.
Yes, talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you, Max.
So that's it. We're done?
No, I'm looking at the chat, and
all right.
Oh my goodness. I have to read this.
I know it's your channel. I'm just a fucking hanger-on.
Do the
I
Evolution
can leave
78.
whenever I want, but
you can, but do the Evolution 78 says stay gold, the Outsiders. Yeah, I love the Outsiders. That's a really great book. I read it.
Never seen it.
And it's
you know what? My mom loves the Outsiders. I've never seen it.
Do the Evolution 78.
Never read it.
Stay gold, pony boy. Yes.
I guess.
Why
well,
not?
and that, you know what? There was something that happened with the Karate Kid, like the Cobra Kai, and everyone is very excited. And it was like, it's not my jam. I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And Lemon Pie says, so this is the first time the Borg used an individual to communicate with another species other than broadcasting a voice. This is the first time we see it. I'm not sure. That Borg have been around for so long, and it's retcon that they've been assimilating for forever. So
Lemon Pie, I am another species. How dare you question my species?
What would Professor Briggs say? Memory Alpha, that it's littered with the filth, and so that it's
we don't want to talk about this. We don't want to talk about
what
this.
I've concluded about Memory Alpha is that you have to know how to separate the filth from the good information. And this is not what Raquel Briggs would say, but this is what I've concluded. If there is a source associated with the information that it's purporting, then it has more validity than if it just needs a source. So if it needs a source...
Are you familiar with the Old Testament and the New Testament? Are you familiar with those
yes.
differentiations?
Of course I am.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Judaism, because if you are only the 735, you are Old Testament. You hold on to that.
Okay, oh no.
I
would not exalt
total sense. It makes total sense.
I would not exalt New Trek to that level, but Dan Leckie says.
Well, I'm just saying, a lot of you people who are against.
So Dan Leckie actually wrote a whole lot of Memory Alpha himself. So that's thank you, Dan Leckie.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that he's very proud of his work on
All you guys who don't like New Trek are kinda square.
So you're saying New Trek is the New Testament? That's pretty rough on Christianity there.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want that.
You know what the worst part is? Is that it's kind of rough on Old Trek. I'm open to the conversation. I want to know what is going on because
and I'm not a square, Scotty. I'm a tetrahedron.
A tetrahedron.
Lemon Pie says
a dodecahedron
is a prequel series to TNG.
The thing is
but you don't have to take my word for it.
They have messed up Star Trek so much that I want to try and sort it out. I want to find Like, because there is new stuff, and most of it is in.
Sir, I know this may finish me as an acting ensign, but...
Shut up, Wesley!
Sometimes I fucking hate you.
No, we
If you
can
want to
talk-
shut me down with a Will Wheaton, I fucking hate you.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not saying that your argument isn't something that would be a great other 5-hour live stream, but I'm trying to get out of here.
Let's get out of here then. It's no big deal.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It's my channel, right?
Isn't. It's no big deal.
Resistance is futile. Oh no!
Yeah,
You will
that's what I'm saying.
Hello, Squirt Russell, and thank you for the chat. But I will not be finishing.
Oh.
The Borg ship exploding was filmed upside down. Hey, that's good information. Why
Yeah.
upside down? But I do own a Locutus action figure. Hey, it's Terrier. Thank you so much for fixing Scotty's.
No,
Riker.
I
The
know.
Riker he had was
Terrier.
terrifying. The Riker that Scotty initially made was absolutely horrifying.
Thank you, Terrier, for being here.
Dan Leckie, the camera pointed up at the exploding Borg cube miniature, so the debris from the explosion would seem to explode in all directions, basically. Oh, and there's a quote from the Star Trek movie. Was it good for you? And I have that quote somewhere. And definitely great 2-parter. I'm just not keen on the cliffhanger, but everything else works. And so,
Fair enough.
Definitely. Emperor Palpatine says, "Who dares do a crossover with me? You'll pay for showing yourself around the Empire." I don't. Who's doing a crossover? I don't know what happened there, but that's a really good. That's a really good chat. I prefer Redemption and All Good Things. Redemption. I reviewed Redemption, and rest in peace, Tony Todd. That's my favorite time we do see Kern. That's my favorite Kern episode is Redemption. I like the episode where Q loses his power and sacrifices himself. Oh yeah, we definitely have to do that episode. I love that one too. Where he becomes human and learns how to eat and sleep.
Oh, that reminds me. I should have a chocolate sundae. 12.
Oh, but
12 chocolate sundaes.
And then something's gonna upset you, and you're not gonna eat any of them.
I thought you had to leave.
I do. She's a hard ass when she has to be, and yeah, when I do have to leave, yeah. So boom, I have to do every once in a while. I always enjoy your shows. Thanks, everyone. And this must be when I announced that I was leaving.
You know I reach you.
Yeah, we're doing great. Now you have reached me. You figured it out. I lost the poll. I voted for the 2-part Locutus just because Scotty liked the other one.
Never listen to me.
Scotty is.
I'm fun and reckless. I'm chaotic and stupid.
Yeah, and I can't well, in his current state, this is true. When he's sober, he's extremely thoughtful.
This is a constant.
No, it's not. It's not. If you're sober, you're completely sweet and absolutely intelligent.
Some might say that he is elevated when he was inebriated.
Yeah, and some might say that too.
I agree with that opinion.
Jill, escape from LA.
But also, that could be sabotage.
Call him Pliskin, call him Snake, call him Pliskin, call him Snake.
Yeah, no, I'm on your side, yo.
I think I have a clip for that.
Oh, yay. Am I out of bubble gum?
Kill me now, Snake?
I'm too tired. Maybe later.
Call me Pliskin. Call me Snake.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about me.
And so
Let's
we're
talk
ending
about
the
the
poll.
end of this show.
Yeah, the end of the show is that I just ended the poll. The action figure of the cutest that the chat would buy. Welcome back, Max Redstone. Would be the Best of Both Worlds Part 1, 53%. Best of Both
Better
Worlds Part
looking.
2.
That's all I was saying, is that Picard as Locutus, as in Best of Both Worlds Part 1, is better looking. It's a better action figure. And the second one looks like too much of a transformer of a GoBot. So
fair enough.
No.
Fair enough. I have no problem with either one. Like I said, I voted one way just to be against you.
And just to save time, we did already say goodbye to Max Jetster. So.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that I won.
Fix.
I won this election.
You did.
It's not. It's not good. It's not good cooking. It's just good looking.
Yes, agreed.
I'm glad you were able to help her. And
yep.
Well done, doing it so quickly.
Huzzah!
Well, let's.
Huzzah!
Anyway, can I go now? Are we done?
Yeah. Well, we're done, and all I want is for Wes Kago to say anything he wants to share before we leave.
Nice.
Anything? Any final words about this amazing time we've just had? Hopefully, I hope you've enjoyed yourself.
Yes, immensely. I always enjoy your streams, and it's a pleasure to be actually a part of one. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And Scotty R37, anything you want to share before we leave that is of an appropriate nature?
Nope.
No. Oh, actually, wait. No, there is one thing. There is one thing. Next Thursday. What is anyway? If you go over to the Phantasmagorium channel, we have reviewed all of the Universal monsters, and next week we are going to be reviewing the next generation of monsters. Kat and I are going to be talking about Freddy Krueger.
Wow, more monsters. That's cool.
Yeah, I know, right? Also, if you do have an opportunity and you enjoy wine, and I enjoy wine, you can head over to CinemaGo because they have a sideways if you want to completely shift. But if you want to hang out with a bunch of good people who are bad people, check out Sideways and the review by CinemaGo. I just
bought a new. You made perfect sense. I just bought a new bottle of wine. You just reminded me. I need to check that out.
What kind of wine? Was it a Beaujolais?
I bought a Shiraz. No, I bought a Shiraz.
Oh, I love Shiraz.
I know. But for me, Tuesdays, I'm continuing For All Mankind, and I'll be finished by the end of November. And on December 3rd, I will have an extra special stream where I look into all the production notes because I ignored them because I wanted to avoid spoilers since it was my first time watching through it. And so I only analyze the story. And so I'm going to go back and figure out how the entire series was made, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we'll also make some predictions about season 5 coming up next year in 2025. And on December 3rd, I'll be doing that. May or may not have a special guest. We shall see. Franco Walker says, "Take care, everyone, and much love to you all."
Well, we do know, like one of the first streams of 2025.
Oh, yeah. Did you want to announce it or no? You're going to make people wait? Well, no,
it's
you do.
January 10th, we'll be talking about The Last Starfighter.
Oh, okay. And with that, we'll see you guys next time. Have a fantastic Friday.
Well, I wanted to say one thing.
Oh, yes, please do. Please say one thing.
This is IKEA of Borg. Your lives, as you know them, are over. Your economic and design distinctiveness will be. Okay, forget I screwed up the line. See ya.
You messed up the entire outro.
Yeah, well.
No, did you write something?
Try again. We can edit.
No, the problem is I didn't.
We can edit.
Your economic and design distinctiveness will be added to our own. Your lives, as you know them, are over. Resistance is futile.
Delightful.
That's really good. Don't people also get lost in IKEAs too?
Also, there's a special on Swedish meatballs at the cafeteria.
You know what? I've been laid twice in an IKEA. It's weird.
Goodbye, everybody. Good. I'll talk to you guys later.
You shouldn't have come back. You shouldn't have come back from that.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Play the outro.
Bye, guys.
Learn all that is learnable.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
May we together become greater than the sum of both of us.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
Nuclear Panda. Are we ending this stream, or are we just
Panda. It is a stream that doesn't end.
Well, what the hell are you still doing here?